master archer with bow in hand. His aim is true across the land, not just in science, but in every heart. He hits his mark with a steady heart. They call him Huey, the quantum racer. It's all too easy for him when he takes the stage. With every word he says, they feel the rage. His presence alone rattles that cage. The crayon eating numpties are running out of time. They call him Huey, the quantum eraser. With every swing of the cowbell, the illusion fades. And with each strike, the glow burst, illusion degrades. Huey's treatments, they cure them of their plight. Guide them toward truth with all his might. They call him Huey, quantum eraser. The hardest thing about being a Glober is tell your daddy you're gay, oh so gay. That's why they need Huey's treatment. They call him Huey, quantum eraser. They call him Huey, the quantum eraser.
That's a mighty fine picking and a grinning. And we're off. As usual, if you like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. I'm back, baby. That's right. You feel the need? Because I do. I feel the need for speed. And I got it, baby. That's right. All green, no drop frames. Huh? How you like that? We threw some light at that sumbitch. Let's roll it on over to Discord and see if Adam's Adam, are you there?
I am here, sir. Do I
Listen
sound
to
okay?
that, Mike. How about that?
It's just a positive day, isn't it?
Isn't it? That's right. That's right, baby. I'm back. I got so much speed. I got speed to burn. I can upload friggin' a pack of beluga whales, and it would come out pristine.
You could send me a copy of Weird Science pretty quickly, actually.
I'll tell you that, man. I'll tell you what. I could upstream her too. She come right out.
Send it quicker than I can download it.
Yeah. That's right, baby. Let's take a look at this. Well, let me stop. Share. Yeah, we'll do. All right. Share your screen. We're not sharing that screen. We'll share another screen. But for the folks in YouTube land, let's show them this screen. I'm going to show you this screen, baby. You won't
heard
be able.
this, Flats?
You won't be able to see it. It's my internet speed. Look at this, folks.
This is the sound of true joy, Flatsy, this.
I know.
I'll tell you what. I got rid of that last ISP. I removed their charter. They were dogging me out too. They were saying, "Oh, my computer. He refuses to update his computer and his card in the computer." Some lady read that back to me. It was an old note, like about 3 months ago. Yeah, right. Uh-huh. Look at this. I told them I had a 1 gig card in there, and my computer's plenty fast. Man, I'm clocking about 3.6, baby. Right? So they put the fiber in this morning. I said, listen, man, I told those guys when they woke me up, I thought they were communists, right? They woke me up. I come rolling on out there, rubbing my eyes. I said, I feel the need for speed, baby. What can you do for me? They said they hooked me up. Look at this. I got 890 download, right? Megabytes per second. But look at the upload speed, baby. Look at this down here. You see that? Damn. That's ludicrous speed. Ludicrous, baby. With my other service provider, I was hovering right at 30 or 40 when it was working. It was 0.6 when it wasn't working. Look at that. Isn't that a beaut? That's right, baby. I'm back. We threw some light at that sumbitch. That's what we did. All right, my rant's over right there. What say you?
I like the info that you gave. The previous company had a note on file about you refusing to do things.
Yep. They did. When I called, remember I was real pissed the other day and I called them up and you guys said, oh, I'd like to be there to hear this. Well, an elderly lady answered the phone. So, listen, I'm not going to dog her out. She's just part of the customer service, right? And I wanted to make sure all the communication, at that point, I wasn't thinking about switching. And at that point, she started reading back to me the notes that she had on my account. And I told her a few months ago they came out and they were registering low speeds when I was paying for 1 gig. And she read this note out. It said, we have a note here. Yes, the text said that the customer has outdated equipment and is unwilling to improve his. That was it for me. That was it. That was done. I said to myself, I wasn't rude to her. I said, thank you very much. But in my mind, I was removing their charter. And as soon as we got off the phone, I called Ozark Fiber, baby. Back with the fiber. Yeah, I had fiber 20-some years ago back in California. Out in the middle of the desert, I had fiber. I remember my internet was so fast, right? And I never had any problems. Never. And the company, Ozark Fiber, just came into the area about 2 months ago, and they put a little tag on my door. And I said, fiber, eh? I said, let me just keep a hold of this, right? So I kept a hold of it. So yesterday, I just called them straight away. They were like, what kind of speed you getting? And I told them, and they said, oh, that's more or less piss poor. They said, we're going to hook you up. So I switched. That's it. It's over. I'm looking over. I got green everywhere, dudes. Everywhere. No drop frames. I'm pristine, baby. That's where we're at.
Just fiber optics.
Yeah.
So this speed is due to the manifestation within a perturbation.
No. No, it's not. And the light wasn't already there. If it was already there, then my streams wouldn't have went down.
It'd be infinite, your up and download speed, wouldn't it? A little drunken 8 instead of any numbers.
A little drunken 8. Not too many people would get that, Adam. Nicely done, sir. Yep. Since I'm capable of abstract thought and a little twisted myself, I got that immediately. So, I just want to basket. All I did today was just do internet speeds ever since I left. Just one after the other, right? Just watching it. Yeah. Yeah. You don't know how good it is until you have it that good. You follow? I like the simple things in life.
Nathan's here. Show him again. Show him your speeds.
Nathan out there?
Yeah,
He doesn't have any speeds like this, man.
No, mate. That is like beyond impressive.
So he's out in chat. Check this out. Check these speeds out there. The distinguished Nathan Oakley. Check that out. You see, not that one, the download speed. That's that's the cover girl. But that's not really the substance. That's the substance, baby, right there. 900, baby.
How do you check that?
Yeah, I love it. Earlier, go ahead.
How do you check that? Where do you go to check your internet speed?
I just go to this one. They said go to fast.com or speedtest.net, either one. But I went to this one today. They're given similar. I had both of them up before, and they were real close. But this one sometimes goes to 1.2. I can upload a pack of beluga whales to you, and they'd come out pristine right by you. You'd have to go get some sardines to feed them guys.
Nathan's bragging.
Huh?
His is 1100.
Who's bragging?
Nathan.
No, it's not. Show. Send it to me over Skype. I want to see it right now. What do you say? What do you say?
He's not robbing this off you, is he? Prove it. You're not. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And I'm happy for you.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for the show, too, because I'll tell you what, it was grinding on my last nerve. I was not a happy camper the past few days. Just not. Because I have this thing about me, routine things should go routinely. And if I'm paying for 1 gig from an internet service provider, that's what I expect that. I don't expect to have to struggle to get that. I don't expect to have problems. Now, every once in a while, a problem's going to rise. I understand. Not a problem. Get your ass out here and fix it. But they didn't do that. So I jettisoned their dumbasses. Removed their charter. How about that?
They won't do that again, will they?
No, they're not going to have the opportunity to do that anymore. So there you go. That's it.
Did they fix your Ethernet connection?
No, they fixed my internet connection. Just pure fiber, baby. That's right.
Ether optics.
It's not ether optics either. They just threw some light.
How's it getting from A to B then?
What?
How's it getting from A to B if it's not using ether?
It doesn't require a medium.
Right. Other than the tube.
Yeah, the tube. That's right. That's exactly what he said. There's a tube in there.
So were you already kitted out with all this stuff? You were already wired up. You were just wired up on that. You had both options. Because it's a pretty wicked turnaround.
Well, yeah, it's out. They strung it, like I said a couple months ago. It's out on the pole, and it sits right beside. See, the cable companies use fiber throughout the neighborhood, but it's the connections from the line, from the pole to the house that they use. They use fiber from the main node throughout the whole neighborhood, but from the house or from the pole to the house, cable uses copper wiring, right? And there's so many problems with it. But right beside it is, why don't they just use fiber? Right?
There was a bloke come out and gave you a fiber connection.
That's all he did. That's all he did was took a line from my pole. Right? So I got I got fiber from the node in the neighborhood front to the pole, then fiber from the node or from the pole to my house, and then underneath my house through the crawl space up into my computer. I got direct fiber, baby. It's all fiber.
You got some speed now.
I'm in a need for speed, baby. That's right. Then some jerk in here said, well, I got 3 gigs upload. You know, there's always one, right? Fish has to be
Mine's awful.
Fish has to be a little bit longer. Something else has to be a little longer too. We understand that. There's some deeper issues with that. Right? But hey, listen, like I said.
There you go.
What?
Nathan's swinging. He's swinging.
Yeah, I
just tested 930 down, 104 up.
104.
Ooh. He said.
No, not 104. No, I got 900 up. Not 104. It better be 1040 for him.
It could be a typo, but it does say 104.
Does it say 104? He didn't send any. No. You just can't say it. You got to screenshot that monkey and send it to me in Skype.
You want cowbell?
That's cowbell.
So
exactly.
So mine should make you feel better. Listen, mine should make you feel better because mine's 700. That's my internet speed.
What? Download or what is it?
Yeah, download. Upload is way worse. It's like 72.
Oh, that's not that bad. You can stream with 72. That's fine.
Yeah, and then the download speed is 700.
Yeah,
it was 710.
The download speed's not a big deal. That download speed means absolutely probably mostly nothing. You get away with going like 200 or 300 download speed and your computer's going to run fine. But it's the upload speed that's the key. That's what you send out to the internet, like streaming. That's the key. Right there. It's that speed that's important. Follow?
I'm feeling weedy.
Yep, I don't do that, so I guess it don't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You got fine speeds out there, and you're out in the Hicks in Alabama. You're in West by God, Alabama.
Greenbow, Alabama.
Yeah, but like I was saying, I was stationed out in California way back there in 2003 neighborhood. I spent some time out there, and they had fiber connections. They considered it a hardship. So, and it was a military base, so obviously they want to have communications at the top notch. So they spread it out to the community, right? They had a housing community there, and they wanted to. You have to make things at least a little tolerable when you're so far out in the desert. You're so far from everything. See, I was 80 miles away from the nearest town, so. They had fiber, and like I said, I had no problems, right? Great speed. I could do anything I want. Never went down. I can't remember. I was there for 5 years. It never went down once. Not once. So, and he was telling me the only problems I'm going to have is if the line snaps. That's the only way it's going to stop. That's the only way he said there's going to be a problem. So
I like that.
Yeah, and he said if it
It'll
does
keep working unless you break it.
Exactly. He said, and if that happens, all you have to do is call us. We'll be right out there. They ran the line. It was like 8 minutes.
That's my question. So from getting peeved off with your previous provider to ringing the new company, how long before the cable guy turned up?
Run that by me one more time.
How quick from ringing them, the cable guy turning up and running a line?
No, he's not the cable guy. He's the fiber guy. So when I called
Fiber
guy. When I called them, so that was Tuesday when the show wet the bed. Tuesday evening, after early or late afternoon, early evening, I decided, after the nice old lady told me what they wrote in their notes, I said that I've had enough. So I gave him a call. That was about, I would say, 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. somewhere around there. So, but they had to put me on the schedule because a lot of people, you got to get in line, right? Follow?
But that's like 1 day's wait.
Yeah, that was. She said, I can have somebody out to you early Thursday morning. Now, I knew I'm a sleeper inner, and I said, how early might that be, love?
Certainly not before Flat Earth debate starts.
And they said, anytime between 8 and 10. And my wife looked at me. She goes, you're usually still sleeping then. But thanks, honey. Appreciate that. So she told the lady over the line too, right? But yeah, so it only took. I was in line. They came. They were here at 8:30 in the morning. So I didn't time them exclusively, but they said, okay, well let's get started. After I told them I feel the need for speed, and make it happen, baby. They were out the door. They were up on that pole so fast, and it didn't take them 10 minutes to get that line from the pole to my house, put the box on, and run it underneath my house. I got a little crawl space. I don't have a basement. I have a crawl space. And they put it through the crawl space, up underneath, behind my roll-top desk. It was in so fast, right? He goes, I'm sitting there, okay, how long is it going to take? After 15 minutes, he goes, shit, I'm almost done. It was done quick, boy. Quick! So, yeah, that's a story. That's it, baby. Just to let you know, I'm all green. Drop frames, 0.00. The Baltard's IQ.
Well, thanks for the bit of info on how to check your internet speed. I never even thought about checking.
Yep, check it. And it has, I didn't ask him about, what do they call them? High usage times? Because with cable, with high usage times, there you could drop. But I doubt there's any usage problems because I got fiber, baby. We'll just throw some light at that sumbitch.
We have fiber optic too, but we don't use that internet for the computer. We use our T-Mobile provider.
Gotcha.
They give it.
Yep.
They give us internet. So that's pretty cool. So we have 2 internets at my house.
The internet.
Yeah, plural.
Hey, thanks, Tony. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll say it afterwards. Hey, Bugger.
Superchat.
Super taught. What the
Yeah.
heck was? You better say it with some spirit. Say it again.
Say it again, Bug. He's got a mouthful of juice.
Oh, does he? Don't say it then.
Tony Whitcomb, he said, I didn't realize that Jim Carrey was a ginger and Jeff Daniels was McToon.
Yeah, you didn't realize that, huh? What the heck is he talking about, Fletzy?
He's talking about Witsit being Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels being McToon.
Oh, why did he put those two together?
I don't know, but it was pretty good.
All right. Well, we're all with it, Tony. Thanks. And thanks for the super chat because I'm going to need those. It's going to cost me. Now, it's going to be a little extra cost per year. I think it's like $250 more every year. But hey, listen, I got to do it. What am I going to do? Right? Pay $250 less and have no internet? No internets whatsoever? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put up with that freaking cable guy anymore. I do fiber, baby. I'm fiber from here on out. That's my motto. That's my mantra. I got plenty of roughage, baby. I got fiber. Let me check my Skype. I haven't seen any that Nathan, you're not supporting your claims. I don't see anything here in Skype. Where's the screenshot of the internet's speed? Let's go. Made a claim, you got to support it now.
Yeah. So internets is now always going to be plural, guys. Don't forget.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I've got a video for Nathan tomorrow whilst he's there. JLB's just brought out I've watched the first minute. I don't know, apologetic grift for Will Duffy in the trip to Antarctica.
That doesn't surprise me none. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, calling us out, saying we've shat it. We're all backtracking.
Who's shat it?
Us flat earthers.
No, us flat earthers have not. Not this flat earther.
Hey, I tell you what though, I didn't know what a sweaty he was. He's a right dirty looking greaser. He's a white guy with dreadlocks, and he looks like he's got dreadlocks in his beard. It's like, ooh.
Who? JLB?
Yeah, you know when you imagine someone, I never expected some sweaty ginger dreadlock.
Really? Dude. Is that? You got to have a JLB if you want to be with me.
Uh-huh.
Well, hell, send the video. Let's take a look at it.
I'll post it now.
Where are you posting it at?
Where do you want it?
Skype.
I'll go BALLBUSTERS. I'll stick it in Master B. It's easier. Yeah.
Okay.
2 seconds.
Go to Master B.
I said I watched the first minute or so I've not watched it all. It's only 10, 11 minutes old.
Yeah, I'm gonna play. Yeah, I'll play it, Nathan. I'm so high right now. I could float right out of here. I just look down and all I see is green and no drop frames. I'm like, yeah, baby.
This is a family show.
What do you
shouldn't
mean?
be doing that.
What?
You said you're so high right now.
Oh, come on.
I'm just playing. It was a great opportunity to say it.
You knew that I was using that as a metaphor, Flatsy. I wasn't smoking dope in here.
I know, but it was a perfect opportunity to say that.
What is this holier than thou attitude from you lately?
I don't have a holier than thou.
All right, Adam sent it. I got it, Adam. Hold on.
How can I be holier than thou? Mine's 770. You know, like yours is off the charts over there.
That doesn't have anything to do with holier than thou. My word. We'll talk about that later, Flatsy. Okay, did you timestamp this, Adam?
Oh, it's only 10 minutes long, and the only timestamp is because that's how long I've watched it. It's like the first minute or so, and I thought, I'll watch that in a bit.
Do you want me to rewind it?
Yeah, because it's not pertinent where I've stopped it. I've just gone, oh my god.
Okay,
it's JLB.
All right, I'll stop it. And this is, John LeBon. Okay, hold on, folks. I'll get it out. I got to share it with you guys in Discord too. So hold on.
If 1 minute of review of the video takes 10 minutes, then how long is this really going to take?
No, we're gonna. Good point, Flatsy. I got the message. I got it.
You're gonna get frustrated because I stopped straight away and go, oh dear, he's straw manning our position.
Right.
Yeah, he's steel manning theirs as if we see the sun.
Superchat.
Yeah.
Another super fiber.
All right, we got Bree. She was in here the other day. She must be new to the server. Good to have you, Bree. But she sent, Witsit is incredibly insufferable. Can't wait for you to dismantle him. He just uses the same fallacies as Globers. What a clown. Nothing cannot exist. You forgot the K after the G in nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Bree. Appreciate it. Yep. And if you go on my channel there's a playlist, and it's Witsit Clown playlist. He's been exposed. I mean, Mae West is in the corner blushing. So if you want to do that, but we'll continue to do it. But thanks for the super chat.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with saying it like that.
Saying what? Like what?
Nothing like that.
Nothing.
No, it's supposed to be funny because he puts the
like
K.
that.
Shut up,
Oh,
Adam.
with the K?
Flatsy speaking. Flatsy, start over.
Are you talking about putting the K on the end of nothing?
That's
Yeah,
what.
Come on.
That's what Adam does. Over in that part of the world, they do that. It's a natural thing. Go ahead, Adam. Floor is yours. You explain it.
That was it. It was a dig at me, so I was just recognising it, Flatsy, when he was doing. I said it's exactly the same as like when Black Americans say the word ask. It's ask. Yeah. The way I didn't know I did it, but to me, yeah, nothing can't exist.
That's a double negative.
Cannot, Flatsy, cannot. Sorry, I don't think that's a word.
That's right.
Like it as a word.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I do it too.
I don't
say
think
nothing.
that Bree doesn't understand that inside joke, but it's so funny that she did that.
I heard from a third party that made a baseless claim earlier. Super fiber.
All right. Tony Whitcomb sent, hope this helps, QE. That helps.
Hey, appreciate it, Tony. Thank you. I can't see it right now, but thank you, sir.
Yeah, well, you need to, because it's about $120. He's just
What?
£100. Yeah.
Holy shit, Tony, you didn't have to do all that much. Oh my God.
You like
6
that
months
color.
of speed.
That's
You
6
like that
months.
color though. Come
That
on.
is a nice color. Tony, thank you, sir. Let me go tell my wife, because she was complaining to me this morning. She goes, you know how much that's going to cost us extra? So 1 second, I'll be right back. Go ahead with the baseless assertion guy that came in. He can speak. Maybe. Right, Adam?
Let's go on with the JLB video. Your internet
Yeah.
speed's the same as mine. It's gigabit internet, or just over. Mine's max 1100. But your upload speed is like 9 times faster. So you've got the same download and upload speed. You've got 900 up, 900 down. Mine's 100 up, 900 down. So for whatever reason, the UK ones are just tight with the upload speed, and they don't advertise it anywhere. You have to ask at the end of the sign-up process. So yeah, it is expensive, but it is much better. So I had the same problem dropping frames. Now I don't have that problem. So it seems like everyone's getting gigabit internet at the same time, which is great because it means everyone's going to have better streams. So good. But yeah, yours is better.
Now.
The only difference is that they unify the network in the UK, so our speeds don't change. That's a new, very new thing. But as of this particular installation, they guarantee the speeds. They say it doesn't matter. That's why they were quite fussy when they came out to me, because they were like, if there's a problem on the shared network, it's like a shared network. So you balls up everyone else's connection if you have a problem. So that's why when they came out, they checked everything and were like, no, this can cause a problem to everyone else's speeds, believe it or not. I'm like, really? It's like, yeah, the network's unified. So everyone's connected together, and it means that you don't lose or gain speed at any time if the network gets busy. It just stays the same all the time. So that's the only difference from what I can tell. But you've got much faster upload speeds, which is good, because it means that I don't think you upload videos, though. So I do. I obviously upload the after show, and it's often hours and hours long and takes an eternity to upload. Well, now it does it in 20 minutes. Well, yours would upload in 3 minutes. It's like stupidly quick for uploading. Very good.
Brian's here. Brian, you won't believe this. QE can upload weird science faster than I can download it.
Yeah, but that's because he doesn't have positive radiance getting in the way.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, and the rest of you guys super chatting today. I walked out and told my wife. Her jaw dropped, but literally. So she's very thankful. Just wanted to let you know. All right, what are we doing here? Are we checking?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good question.
I just want to make a statement that there's an injured party on the panel here tonight, and there was a lot of injustice happened in this arena in the past 2 days, and I am going to be like Aaron Brockovich on this case. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. That's what's going to happen.
You got a hidden agenda coming onto my show.
Just declared it. Did you not hear that?
Oh, there's no hidden agenda.
It's
It
not
wasn't
hidden
hidden.
anymore. It's not hidden anymore, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Well, I'll tell you what, you potato skin walker, you better not get in the way of my show.
Oh, there's no fear of that. Don't worry, that'll never happen.
All right, Nathan, take over. What are we gonna? Tell me what I'm gonna do.
I'm going to summarise what the position is for Antarctica, regardless of what JLB says. Am I coming in loud and clear?
Yes.
If I've got a bit of a lisp, just ignore it. Okay? Right. The Antarctic trip is two fallacies, one for the flat Earth and one for the globe Earth, stacked up next to each other in what's called a false dichotomy. The globe Earth fallacy is as follows. If I assume I'm on the bottom of a ball, then I will observe 24-hour sun. I do observe 24-hour sun, therefore I'm on the bottom of a ball. That's the globe Earth fallacy, one side of the false dichotomy. The other side is the flat Earth fallacy. It's the same fallacy. If I observe twilight in Antarctica, then we're on the azimuthal equidistant projection. I do observe twilight in Antarctica, therefore I'm on the I'm on the azimuthal equidistant projection. I've said it the wrong way around.
Yeah, you did. I was going to correct you.
I did, but it doesn't matter. I'll just give the correct order in the fallacy, which is the affirming the consequent, if P then Q, Q therefore P. That's the order. So if I'm on the azimuthal equidistant projection, I'll observe twilight. I do observe twilight, therefore I'm on the azimuthal equidistant projection. There you go, I got it right the second time. Right, so it's two false dichotomies. It's one false dichotomy stacked up with two affirming the consequent formal logical fallacies. The main purpose is to hide the overall fallacy, because this is inconsequential to us. We don't have a claim. Some idiots on the flat Earth side accept the azimuthal globe projection as their model. Therefore, it can be considered their claim. It's not ours. Regardless, both are fallacious, and the overall fallacy is to hide the fact that on the globe side, they will assume that when they travel to Antarctica, with all the flat Earth pitch data and sea level, they'll arrive on the bottom of a ball. That's the main fallacy it's hiding. I'm done.
All right, thank you. And it's all wrapped up in a pseudoscience experiment or non-experiment. It's a fraud. It's all wrapped up in that. Right? Yes?
Yeah, and that's kind of where we are today, isn't it? And the bit I heard, like I said, the first minute, and like I say, I was more laughing at John LeBon in the corner. Have you seen him, Dave? See, is that some like, does he work for ISIS, or is that genuinely him? Either way, what I found interesting in that first minute was just to pause and go, I'll watch that later, because it is a straw man he's building here, and there's a part of it. He's going back to 2015, 2016, where you had the guy on, where this is some form of issue. Now, it's only an issue because it should be obvious for a globe. So when it's not obvious for a globe, and we will cite it, right? It wasn't the determinant reason that the Earth is flat. And certainly as time's gone on and we're now in 2024, it's kind of inconsequential because of what we've done. And as shout out to Brian, yeah? Will, if you'd have bothered to get the pitch data on your flight to Antarctica, yeah, we've got something that will demonstrate it, that won't be affirming the consequent, but will be a measurement.
Not on the flight to Antarctica before, just pitch data. Brian's gonna blow a gasket.
Brian's suggestion was for Will to get this is getting the pitch data, right?
Let Brian explain. Brian, explain how Will Duffy approached you and what you proposed to him and what's happened subsequently, please.
Okay, I approached Will Duffy, I made a video and I sent it to him via email because I heard that he said he answers every email. So it had several points in it, my video, but the whole purpose of it was to point out a much cheaper, easier, much safer way to prove whether it was globe or flat. And what I proposed to him at the time was that he spends the money on getting the pitch data from two reputable sources, maybe Qantas and Lufthansa, someone like that, as opposed to spending money on bringing everyone to Antarctica and God knows whatever else could happen there. And at the time, I didn't know anything about the fact that you could get pitch data for free from the NTSB. I was under the impression, because I was told by Wolfie and other pilots on that globe side, it would cost thousands, maybe 100,000+ to get pitch data, 50 to us, whatever. So Will Duffy said he wanted to spend money for truth. That's what he said. So I gave him the option of something that would that would definitely prove either way, right? And his response to me was that he would watch my video under the conditions that I conceded this or this and this and this, right? So that was the end of that. If he was interested in it, he would have gone and got it. But if he was interested in watching my video, he wouldn't have given me things that I had to concede to just to watch the video. It was just an 8-minute video or whatever. So in the meantime, we got the bitch data, and we've proven that it's fat. So now this is a complete waste of time. Whatever he's trying to do here never meant that in the first place, and now it means even less. It means absolutely nothing. And since then, he has actually contacted me, or not contacted me, but left comments on the video that he said that I had to concede the things for him to watch. I'm trying to somehow wrangle some debate between me and Woodfee. Pay me my debate fee, €5,000, and you get your debate. I don't know what we're going to debate about because horizontal lines don't curve.
We're going to debate horizontal lines.
Yeah, well, if I'm going to spend 2 hours debating horizontal lines with Wolfie, I'm going to get paid €5,000 for it because I'm not giving 2 hours of my time up, right? Because on top of that, if I did that debate, all I'd be doing would be giving them relevance that they don't have. It's gone now. Any relevance that you thought he might have had or you might have tried to confuse people with the black swan, celestial navigation and other things, surveying, that's all gone. You can't confuse people with this. This pitch data is cut and dried. It is what it is.
Well, it's for the Camp Fogomarians. The pitch.
Okay, so
anyone can
with that in mind, then, and this is
Oh, see, Adam, Nathan, he's trying to co-host the shit out of this.
No, you go ahead.
He's excited because I've presented this, and he's run in right as I've presented this, and he's now going to present it. It's fine, and I will hand over. I just want to make the point which I've kind of forgot now, as I've had to feel the need to self-justify.
That's all right. Well, if I waffle, you'll remember by the time.
I'm back. I'm back in the game. I'm a pro. The reason I brought Brian in, and thank you, Nathan, for recognising that I brought Brian in and introducing him whilst I was mid-sentence. I appreciate the way you're facilitating this evening. The reason I brought Brian up was in actual, as Brian alluded to. So if we were after truth, right, Brian bothered prior to us getting the pitch data. Beautiful, Brian, because we'd been told by pilots who are Globers that you couldn't just get this shit, but we actually did, right? But Brian approached this guy to say, actually, if you want some real proof that has some validation, not just based on an assumption and an affirming the consequent, because who gives a flying cahoot? Yeah, I do care because it'll tell me more about my world, so I do care. Yeah, but it's not going to tell me the nature of the surface I'm standing on. It's not going to elude any evidence for that. Yeah, the only thing it can do is destroy a baller's paradigm. But for me, it doesn't help. It never was a proof back then. It was a curiosity, yeah, to us back in 2014. And this is why JLB is important, because he was part of these people that would have highlighted this curiosity back then, yeah, and shouted it out as having some value. Same with the Antarctic Circle, which I think he does mention in the first bit. These are things he was aware of.
He did.
So
he did. He did.
Yeah.
You're right. The two things that JLB came up. Sorry to talk over you.
No,
but you're right. The two things that JLB stood on when I first come out here, JLB was one of the first people I ran into the first week I was out here. And the two things was 24-hour sun, Antarctica, and the stars spinning in opposite directions. That's the two things. So go ahead, Adam. Go ahead and finish up.
My point really then is, okay, with that in mind, this appears to be, like I said, the minute I've listened to is we're backtracking. I don't think I am. I never held and went, yay, look, Nathan's interviewed this guy in Antarctica. How, through all the flat earth debates that we've had since Nathan did that before flat earth debate, have we brought this guy up as a proof? Never. It's a curiosity. Yeah. But to them, they're trying to straw man us. And so my point here is really, I don't really care what the position was in 2015 and what my thinking was. The knowledge I have with regards to this topic has significantly increased. Yeah.
Sure.
And that's what I base my judgments on today. Yeah. Evidence, facts. I could give a long list, including surveying. But that's what is a determinant today. I shouldn't be held to my fumbling around in the dark in 2015. Okay. And any conclusions that were all well informed back then. Yeah. We've improved since then. And that's what we make our determination upon. The facts, the knowledge. And in this case, destruction, that whatever you see, you will be flying across a flat plane.
Yep.
Because the pitch data proves it.
Yeah, well, like I was saying before, you don't really need it. The pitch data is for the can't Fogomerians to hold them up against the wall where they can't get out. Everyone else that can Fogomir that's flew on a plane before knows this is absolute fact anyway. So
I think there appears to be a couple. Sorry, no.
No, sorry, I thought you were done.
I was just being sarcastic. I was going to say there's a couple of can't Fogomerians on screen right now. Yeah, by the looks of things.
So I'm going to do a quick call to action, then reassert Brian's conclusory point, because it is conclusory. Right. So first of all, what I'm going to encourage QE to do is click that share button and post the link to, is it John Le Bon's video? Because it looks like this is Level Earth Observer.
No, this is Flat Earth.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, so it's in dark mode on yours. Okay, so click on share, spam it in your link, and I will encourage the Quantum Eraser audience to pop along to John Le Bon's video and just let him know in the politest possible fashion that Quantum Eraser, and you write it as follows, an @ sign, and then Quantum Eraser as it's written on his channel. So it's 2 words, @Quantum space Eraser sent me. And just let him know that we're covering the video. He'll probably pop along and say hello, he'll probably chat. Or maybe not, I don't know, who cares. Either way, just let him know. I'm sure he'll like getting the views and the comments, and hopefully he'd put a link to QE's video if he was to cover it in a response. But in the meantime, please let John Le Bon know @Quantum space Eraser sent me. And I'll just reiterate Brian's point. So when you debunk the affirming the consequent fallacies, they can be turned into logical consistencies on either side. So I'll deal with the lesser important one, which is the flat Earth one first, which is to say that if you do observe a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, you do debunk the azimuthal equidistant globe projection as being a valid model of the ground, if you're going to assert it as a model as opposed to an azimuthal equidistant globe projection, a map. Anyway, if, on the other hand, you do observe twilight in Antarctica, you do then, or you can then formulate a modus tollens into the globe suggestion, because it's a necessary, I don't know if the word prerequisite is correct, but it's a necessary condition that the globe must have to see a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Now, it's inconsequential to us, but if it doesn't happen, you can turn their fallacy into a logical consistency, because they must see 24-hour sun in Antarctica. So if they don't, that's a big problem. If they do, it doesn't mean the Earth's a sphere. They've assumed antipodal positioning, which is where I come back onto Brian. So Brian, although he didn't approach it in this manner, I twisted it into this while he was telling me he was doing it. So while it was in progress, you then take the assumption that you're going to be on the bottom of a ball, what we call the antipodal assumption, in their statement, that if you will see 24-hour sun, it's because you're on the bottom of a ball. Well, to debunk that, you just need to show that the journey down there does not involve reorientating yourself antipodal from where you began, which is demonstrated by the pitch data. So as Brian has pointed out already, it absolutely destroys this, completely undermines it, because the premise in the fallacy has been taken apart, a bit like with the black swan. You're taking their assertion that you're going to be travelling to the bottom of the ball and then undermining it from within their assumption. You're not travelling to the bottom of a ball. The pitch data demonstrates that you're travelling across a flat plane. Therefore, you can't make the assumption in your fallacy that if I arrive on the bottom of a ball, I assume. No, we've debunked that you won't be. That's the end of the Antarctic quote-unquote experiment, because it's not an experiment, it's fraud, and we've debunked the antipodal assumption. Over to John Le Bon.
Not yet. I've had the pitch data up This is flight from United Airlines, flight 1175 back in 2018 that have to have an emergency landing in Hawaii. And on the x-axis down here, you can see 0805. It gives the time, 0805 to 10:05. So we blocked off that 2-hour block of time, blocked that sucker off, because it just so happens to dovetail with the flat Earth proof of flight on my Globe Terminator website. It dovetails exactly with it. So as you can see right here, the pitch data, you guys in Discord can't see this, but you know what it looks like. The pitch data, right? Number one, you cannot have pitch data on a globetard. Why? Because the pitch is always in relation to the horizon or horizontal. You can't have horizons or horizontals on a globetard. It dies right there on its face. However, if you want to compare the pitch data to the altitude, right down here, they're both flatlined. That means the globetard is flatlined. It's as simple as that. If you need more information, go to my website. It has the whole story, ABC 123. And
when
go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, when did you put that? When have you been pimping this tale from, QA?
Pimping what?
This. When have you been making this point with regards to flight? And how this, how this validates it. But how long have you been making this argument for?
Well, we've talked about that.
2016?
We talked about that yesterday, didn't we? So it was the first week.
No, it's asking. He's asking you, how long have you been making this as a logical argument?
Yeah, I was just going to tell him. I came out here 15 May 2016. By 18 May 2016, I already had this argument in the hopper.
Adam, how long have you been making this argument?
Well, as evidence, the slideshow I presented is from 2017, this argument. And what's lovely, QE makes his point, but then this pitch data dovetails exactly for the 2 hours, which is what's lovely about it. Same with QE's claim. For what I did to go on board a plane and try to gather my own pitch data using accelerometers, which incidentally corresponds to this pitch data and the assumptions that I made that all downs are parallel. Yeah, that proving that if we maintain altitude, we maintain a constant position above a flat stationary plane. Ryan, how long you been pimping about the simple fact of how aeroplanes work?
Years now. I would have been making up proofs, kind of like what QE did some years ago, 5-6 years ago. But as far as the actual flight, how it actually flies, and in particular the lift effect in the past few years, the lift effect. Before that, it was the degrees of pitch that it would have to pitch below to fly around the globe. But you can't have pitch on a globe anyway. But the point being,
pitch below what?
Exactly. They don't have the horizontal that they require. But as far as the lift effect goes, it's been the past few years. Because what I did is I compressed it down further and further and further and further straight to the lift effect. Because the lift effect is the reason why they require the above horizontal pitch. And that means if they don't have an above horizontal pitch, regardless of the wing type, they are not accounting for 100% of the weight of the plane. So that means they're falling out of the sky. Even if it's slowly, they're still falling. Now, there is another argument I could make, but it would be going into planes that fly a lot faster than a commercial plane. But it's not necessary now.
Before you go on, sorry.
Go on.
Before you go on, I was just going to, because you've all done it now, so the point of this little expose by you three is that you've been covering it with logical consistency, all three. Brian, Adam, and Quantum Racer have been covering this subject for many years and presenting it as a logical consistency. And that logical consistency was validated completely by the pitch data, something that Brian personally has been chasing for many years. So it's just, that bit is actually coincidental, so it's not necessarily tied to the final experiment, which it isn't, it's fraud. It's just coincidence that it's come at just the right time when Brian's proactively covering contacting Will Duffy to say, look, we can prove this either way with the following. And the following has been used by all three of these gentlemen for many years as a logical consistency. And that logical consistency has been absolutely backed up, not validated. It always was logically consistent, but completely validated by the pitch data.
Yeah, exactly, Nathan. I should really have put that in. I'll be quick, Adam, sorry. Is that I should really have put that in. I've been searching for his pitch data for years and years and years. I was on to Wolfie about it, I don't know how long ago, how many years and years and years ago. And I don't think I was the only one. I don't know who else, but I know I was onto him. I know Flatside was on his case as well, but I don't know who else. But I was specifically on his case from years ago about this, and he refused to get it. So did the other commercial pilots. None of them would address it. None of them would get the pitch data. And when I brought up the lift effect, none of them wanted to deal with it, right? Because they weren't getting the pitch data, so I went straight to the lift effect, because my argument was get the pitch data, prove this through pitch data. And none of them wanted to get it. Wolfie didn't want to get it. None of them wanted to have anything to do with it. And when I sent Will Duffy the video concerning it before I ever got it, Will Duffy didn't want to have anything to do with it. But now Will Duffy was trying to look for me to have some absolutely pointless debate with Wolfie, the person who didn't want anything to do with the pitch data and getting it, the person who could have got it at any time, right, and could have got it, and he would have known where to get it, right. He didn't want. I was supposed to have some. He wanted me to have some nonsense debate with Wolfie about what. It's over. Do you know what I mean? It's over. So the point being is that when we did eventually get it, it was a bowler who got it for me, believe it or not. A guy called Steve, Bucksod Buster, if you know him. He got it actually for me, and he sent it to me. Fair enough, and he was genuine about it. And you know, that's the end of the story. There's no. That's the end of the debate, actually.
Well, that's our journey. What we've been doing. So genuinely, Nathan's the guy that interviewed the guy that went down there and gave his testimony. So was he a shill? But generally, since that point of curiosity that we've had on this 8 years, that we've never ever pursued this point as something that we'll be able to use to prove the earth is flat. Genuinely, gentlemen, did any of us think, wow, if Will Duffy goes down there and sees penguins sunbathing at midnight, the jig's up for the flat earth?
No.
It's all just a little bit of history repeating.
I'm telling you, he's going to be running along some cliff edge, right, with a big flashlight trying to fake this. I don't care. It doesn't demonstrate anything other than you've lied to us even more. Because for all of the documented bits of humanity, no one's showing this, right? So if you do go and show it, it just shows you how the system lies to you and holds information and truth back. Because it shouldn't take Pastor Will Duffy, should it, to resolve this question?
I can't wait till December, I'll tell you that much. That's where
because
I'm at.
it's Christmas.
Yeah, it's Christmas, yes. So, are we going to get to this video? Because my ZZ Top Beard is about ready to get.
I think we should, because I think we've mitigated enough for our position. So let's see it attacked.
All right, just another edition, ladies and gentlemen. I know you came here. You came here just because there was a show, but the show was concerning Boy Zero Sky Grifter and our continuation. Don't fret none, because we're back live with BALLBUSTERS on Saturday. So if we don't get to it today, don't worry. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere for the next 2 months. Okay? But
the thing is, we've got previous conversations that you could now upload in seconds, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
No worries.
All right, so what you saying here? Let me put this over here. What you saying here, Adam? Is this Rastafarian down here? That's John LeBon? Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah. Like I say, what is this? It looks like a bit of an ISIS video. If you do not give us £1 million, we will kill a bomb.
Oh man. Okay, we're getting ready to roll. Here we go. You guys, I know you can hear it, so don't worry about it. We're good. Here we go.
Guys of absolutely nobody, the leading flat earthers are changing their tune very fast. You see, the bluff has been called.
What bluff?
Turn it up. Can you turn it up? It's really low.
Is it low?
Yeah. So I assume that will be the same for YouTube in terms of volume levels.
No, it won't.
Well, it is for me.
Let's go back to YouTube land. YouTube land, we got to do this. Adam, you have to turn this up locally.
Sounds fine, Maya.
Yeah. YouTube, are you hearing John LeBon? You want to have a JLB?
No. Hands up. Hands up. My fault, right? When I came back in tonight, I've readjusted everybody back up to 100%. Yeah. But when Betty's in, I can't hear a bleeding word. So I have to reduce everything down to 50, put her at 100, turn my real volume up. So I have.
Adam.
Don't tell her. Don't tell her how much I love her that I do that for her.
Oh, so you're I see what you're saying. It's Betty's fault that you're not hearing this video.
Don't blame her, though. But technically, yes.
Yes, because everyone in YouTube land says the sound is fine. All right.
Well, honestly, I've just gone to it exactly as you said, turn it up, and I realized because.
Okay. All right. Sorry for that, ladies and gentlemen. I'll turn it back. Nathan, did you want to comment on that, or you want me to stop it again after he comments?
No. You've already covered it.
Hey, Nathan, did you ever think that John LeBon would look like that?
I already knew. I've been I like John LeBon, and I know what he
didn't say it. It's nothing to do with liking anybody.
Okay,
it's just.
I'll answer your question. Seeing John LeBon is no surprise to me because I've seen him grow those. I've seen him grow those features. So
holy shit! So that's real.
He has become more and more scruffy over time, but yeah, I know what he looks like, and this is no surprise to me.
So that's real. I thought it was like a disguise sort of thing. I wasn't sure.
No, that's actually what he looks like.
Hence why I teased him for being a sweaty ginger dreadlocks. I thought it was it's close to Halloween, isn't it? And it's green, you know.
How do you know he's a ginger?
Okay.
It's a green.
Look at it.
It's green in here, man. You can't tell what color his hair is.
He's white. These only ginger people grow dreadlocks, mate. don't see many. Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
At the beginning of all of this nonsense back in 2015, they had all of these proofs that the Earth was flat, and one of them was there's no midnight sun in Antarctica.
No. That's a stereotype fallacy. I didn't have one of those. That's not on my website.
And it's a globe debunking. That's not a flat Earth proof. Saying there isn't something doesn't prove something is something else. That's nonsense.
Exactly. Very sharp.
See why I started vomiting? See why I started vomiting and stopped after a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm like, oh my God, what the, why? Yeah.
What's next? Are they going to throw a video on of Nathan 15 years ago?
Yeah. Interviewing a guy. So, and all you can do to Nathan is go, well, you were lied to by a bloke that was just genuine. Yeah. Shame on you, Nathan, for being lied to.
Doesn't it seem farcical when they come out with videos of Nathan claiming that there's no 24-hour sun 15 years ago? Doesn't that even what are you ball-tards? That's stupid.
But hold on, I don't think that's the video you're going to see. What you're going to see is more in line with what Adam's described. So at one point, the closest they got to what you've just stated I've said, which I haven't, was me saying, I'd love to know. I'd love to go down there. That was 15 years ago, before I interviewed Robert Shortman. Then I interviewed Robert Shortman and asked him what he experienced down there. That's it.
Thanks. I'm just saying that the videos that are running around here with these guys saying, well, look, Nathan Oakley said that there's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Meanwhile, you're baby-faced 15 years ago. Do you think that his position might have changed since then, you goobers? You can't use that. Duh. But anyway, let's go.
And guess what? You can't even go to Antarctica. If you try, the government, the military, the Navy will stop you.
No, that's a straw man fallacy. You're just making that crap up because you're leaving out certain details, aren't you? JLB.
No. I've got to side with him. There are multitudes of flat earthers where there's that you can't go down there. The Antarctic Treaty, blah 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 blah. So he's attacking things that people have said.
Yeah, but it's a stereotype fallacy. I never said that. I'm a flat earther.
No, but it's rife all over TikTok. this kind of crap.
Yeah.
This is why we have problems with Ethereans, yeah, and retard flat earthers that make that cite this as a proof because they've got the Antarctic Treaty, yeah, and we all agree that's pretty messed up in the world we live in. That the only thing that the whole world can agree on is let's look after penguins. Yeah, that's messed up. It doesn't prove a flat earth, a ball earth, or anything other than our governments lie to us in strange ways. Yeah, that's it. And that was it in 2015. Fundamentally, yeah. I remember making this.
Who's off mute?
Who's
off
making
mute?
that noise in Discord? Slurping. Neil.
It's
Son of
Neil.
a-
All right,
I
bye-bye.
know what's going on.
Neil!
Dealt with that quick.
Free pass.
Unbelievable. Go ahead.
I don't know. It's just frustration. And like I said, the only way I could describe what I said to you was straw man. That's the first. That's the only, yeah. And he started already.
Yep.
Why? Even though, like I said, there are lots of us out there. John knows Nathan, right? And this is what's confusing, that John LeBon would come out. He's been around when this crap started in the beginning. Yeah?
Is he saying we're not big names? Is that what he's saying? Because that's what he said.
No, what I'm saying is, remember Flat Earth Round Table? Yeah, he was part of that. He was there with David Weiss. He was there at the beginning, right? So like I said, I've only listened to a minute, but my disappointment was that he's not presenting an informed flat Earth opinion, which he could easily get because he could just pick the phone up and speak to Nathan.
Sure.
Yeah. So that is the position he appears to be taking.
Okay. Go ahead, Brian.
On Brian.
Yeah. Just sorry, Adam. I thought when you said that word there, you were finished. The issue I have with someone like John LeBon and others like him out there in our claim community at present is that they are making videos like this, right? They're addressing this thing, and or addressing it and attacking us. It depends on what they're at. Not one of them has made a video on the pitch data. Not one. There's people that I won't even name them that you would think the first thing they'd be doing is addressing the pitch data, doing live shows on the pitch data, making a video about it, something. Nothing.
They only do that when they affirm their bias. You saw plenty of videos with them barking, refraction. That affirms their bias.
But it's not just. Yeah, but I'm talking about flat earthers, Nathan, even out there.
Imagine, Nathan.
And are not making videos about it. So there's people out there who I'm not naming, but you would think would have made a video about it or done a live show about it. Nothing.
Okay, let me just break it down for Brian. Brian,
that tells you how interested. Sorry, Nathan. Sorry, you're saying something?
I'm just going to break this to you softly. Everybody hates us.
Yeah, I know that, Nathan.
Right, and that's why I wanted to. I said I want to support you. Imagine if in 2016, 17, before Nathan fucked it all up on Globebusters, yeah. Imagine if we'd brought the pitch data then. How the community, those David Weisses, all those people, where we hadn't fallen out because of we're not prepared to accept lower standards, yeah, where we not had to put our flag in the ground. But imagine those days where if we'd have been able to bring the pitch data then, actually how it would have been absorbed by the community. It's very noticeable, as Brian says, the difference. We've just given them a golden ticket, better than Willy Wonka there as golden ticket for a trip to see penguins, the actual golden ticket of proof through the use of flight and the principles of flight, but nobody's on it. Why?
Yeah, because I don't care if you like
came out. Yeah. One more point. It's like when the Black Swan came out. Now I was still a member of Iron Realm there. I remember giving the presentation on part of it because I was working with the guys on it. Yeah, and it fell on the flattest thing, the flattest, wettest fart I've ever known. And it was noticeable. I left shortly after then, yeah? So there is a division. And what's sad, guys, what's sad is that you've got the greatest argument. It's there. Who gives a shit if some potato munching idiot who overtalks people gave it you?
Ah!
Same goes for elevation angles, right? And the production of the systems that we use to navigate with respect to a flat plane, and the angle measurements that we use to make those systems and use those systems. By the point that was coming out from 10th Man, again an associate of ours, it was no shock to me. You know, I knew that our community that we have built, this very, very small community within a community, they'll all get it and they'll all use it. And they do. They go out and you see them sporadically in comments making their arguments and winning. You hear them in the debate forums using the arguments and winning. But to the majority of the pickup on it, is there a load of videos being made about it? You know, you picked Banjo, but Taboo Conspiracy, Dave Weiss, Mark Sargent may well interview you on this subject. He'll be the first to be receptive. But he'll still fall on deaf ears. It's just the way it is. There's been so much poison poured into the water in regards to flat Earth debate, us, ballbusters in this respect, that people don't want to use the arguments regardless of how good they are. It's nuts.
Yep.
He was in there earlier, Nathan, Angels of Light, and it's when you hear him taking on people on TikTok and you hear him using those arguments and destroying people that it gives you hope that there is, you know, it's not wasted effort, because the arguments are being used. Our frustration is that people that know us and know as well, JLB included, for some reason are ignoring this truth. That's been hard worked since we maybe considered the sun as some kind of evidence as to the shape of the earth back in 2015. A lot of work's been done since then, and Brian's frustration, Nathan's, mine, is that people that could know better if they wanted to be informed are choosing not to be, and that's quite illuminating in itself.
Well, yeah, it's due 7 offsuit. They've already showed their hand. So they don't really care about the earth being flat. They don't care. They want the argument to continue. They want the question, like there's a question left. So they're glue sniffers. They're grifters. This is what they are. You want me to point out who they are? We all know who they are. But we'll continue.
Well,
Can I continue with the video?
All right, I'll go quiet, Jeff. Go on.
Thank you.
Because they're hiding a secret, and that secret is that there's no midnight sun in Antarctica. And then this guy called Will Duffy came along and he said, I tell you what, I will pay for me and for some other people to go to Antarctica in December, and we will see if there's a midnight sun. And if there is, then that is the end of this flat earth nonsense.
That's the end of flat earth. You're a little bit confused, aren't you, JLB? This has nothing to do with flat earth, you crayon crunching clown.
Yeah, it's a necessary globe condition that must be met. That's it.
Yep.
But if there isn't a midnight sun, then the flat earthers are onto something.
We're already on to something. You need to go to my website. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about to be 8 flat earth proofs right there. Most of them have been around here since the beginning. Well, the beginning for me, it was between May 15th and May 20th. That's how long they've been here. Yes, sir. That's just from me. Look how many other people have flat earth proofs, right? All it takes is one. Just one. That's it. Just one. It's all over.
And the ball earth model's in big trouble.
Ball earth model, that Nathan, you get really frustrated with me, but these people say stupid shit every 2 seconds. What do you want me to do? I got to stop it. Ball earth model. Let's see it, John.
Well, it's not only that he said something stupid in regards to there being no model. No, there is no ball earth model. Please show it us. But also, he's contradicted what he's just stated in the last sentence, literally in the same breath. So he's saying that's the end of the globe flat earth stuff then. You're like, no, you pause, I say no, it's a prerequisite or whatever, a necessary condition, that's the one for the globe. And then he illustrates that it's required for the globe model. So sod all to do with flat then.
Yeah.
Even though you're picking up on the model bit.
Yes, you're correct. Sorry about that. Yes, because
Right. So Nathan, see, I was only listening to the first minute. So this is the bit. I'm starting to smell now. Is he trolling? Is he setting it up as
Yes.
just describing the false dichotomy?
Yeah,
This is John Le Bon. He's too smart to be that stupid.
No, he's not.
He is. He is.
No, he can't be. He can't be.
Really isn't.
He can't be, because you can't sit there for at least a year and a half, state that the stars are spinning in opposite directions, north versus south. That's really stupid, Adam.
Yeah, and that's only 2 or 3 years ago, isn't it?
Let's watch the rest. Let's see where he's going. And instead, I don't. Are you guys using your special Evo mind powers to figure out what he's going to do next?
Just matter of fact, he is trolling. That's what this is. But carry on.
Right.
So the flat earthers who've been saying for 9 years now, there's no midnight sun, you can't go there. They've got a free ticket to Antarctica.
That's not us. That's not flat earthers that are going either. Those are true earthers that are going, because they, at the very best, the best case scenario, only believe there's a flat earth. That's best case. I know 3 of them that are not flat earthers at all. So that's a mischaracterization. You're in a category error. Simple.
It's
To go and prove that the earth is...
Go ahead.
Just give me a second. Just total straw man. Question for Nathan. Which of the housekeeping questions that have built overtime on flat Earth debate deal with a 24-hour sun in Antarctica?
Good question.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
No.
That's not it.
Which one?
Does that deal with the presupposition? That
Any evidence of the R value?
No.
That's not it.
No, that doesn't help.
Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere edge horizon, formerly known as the curve of the Earth?
Nope. That doesn't make it.
The issue.
Any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
That doesn't cut it.
You just proved why the housekeeping questions are so important.
Yep.
Good job. Good job, guys. You did it.
Yeah.
Which one, though? I haven't got there yet.
Oh, they're not going to pertain to anything that's going on with this fiasco.
Yep.
Because you guys are consistent.
Oh, is that the point? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you guys are consistent, and you always have been. There you go.
That's a good question to ask them. So if this has been our friggin' one of our #1 flat Earth proofs that never was proven or disproven, by the way, then where is it in the housekeeping questions? Very good. Nicely done, Adam. Nicely done, sir. Kudos.
Flat. And what have they done? Well, let's take a look at Level Earth Observer, he likes to call himself. What is his response to this calling of the bluff, as I call it? What's his response to it? Let's take a look.
Destroying the final experiment in under a minute. Let's just say the viewer sees a circle inside.
Who's Level Earth Observer?
YouTuber. The guy used to operate a crane, like a high tower crane.
I don't know him.
Yeah, because YouTube censors us, so you won't get exposed to people that are literally in the same subject, making the same videos on the same subject as you. You won't even find them. So no, there's plenty of people in this corner of the internet that are making videos and probably have been for 10 years like we have. And you don't even know who they are. It's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is an important point.
I know who he is.
In 20... go on, Roy.
No, I'm just saying I know he is, and I know when he first.
He was just showing off. Oh, I know.
It was ranty. It was no. It was. I wasn't. I was just saying that I knew he was, but it was ranty that first brought him into FED. One of his videos. It was It was a video about distance between a communication tower in Birmingham and in London.
Oh, was that him?
But anyway,
I remember that. Yep, I remember that, but he's not one of the big-time flat earthers. It's not a dig at you level Earth Observer. I'm not taking one of that. You're just not one of the highfalutin flat earthers. If I haven't run into you, you're not one of those.
he's been attacking this. Go on.
what Nathan's alluding to, I think, here is the algorithm.
That's
'Cause
fine.
I remember back in the day when as soon as he said the guy who used to work in the crane, yeah, and that pendulum, that massive pendulum that he had, yeah, I remember that guy. And back in the day, you could type flat Earth, and all the honest flat earthers that were just asking questions would be there for you to review. And you didn't subscribe to him because there was tons. But if he's that guy, and he's the guy that I also remember seeing him post the telecom towers footage, that then, like, as you correctly castigate Randy for, Randy then stealing the kudos for that, because we all saw it a couple of weeks before, like one of yours, Brian, isn't it? We all saw it 2 weeks before. You know what I mean? Then, yeah, and that's the point. The algorithm now, QE, isn't there for this guy, even though he's probably pimping out content. Because I'm not been subscribed, he won't come into my timeline as relevant as his content is to me because of the algorithm. All I'll get is Dave Triangles McKeegan. He's gone for a drink because he thought, I'm going to double rant, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, I know. You can tell.
Hey, I'll just carry on with your point that you were making. So yeah, in terms of, go on.
Sorry, Nathan.
So he's been basically of tracking down who Will Duffy is, what he's about, all that since he turned up. So that's probably why.
Okay, well, while Q has disappeared, can I ask one of the moderators to put a link to Level Earth Observer's video in QE's live stream chat? And I encourage you all, because technically we're covering Level Earth Observer now, which is great. We're going to cover 3 different people in one video. But please let Leo, I think his name's Ben. Is that right? Is he called Ben? Either way, please let him know Quantum Eraser, that's at Quantum Space Eraser, sent me with a nice comment. I'm sure I'll appreciate the views.
Sorry, I was on mute. Can we get through this? Because this is just a fiasco. He's just going to put flat earthers up here. You know what? I'm not even going to say anything. Let's let him do it.
Sun in Antarctica in December. Fascinating observation. But here lies the problem for the globe Earth believers.
Now hold on. So straight away he's like, well, okay, well, let's just say that there is a so after 9 years of there's no midnight sun and that's proof of a flat Earth.
No one said that. Or let me take that back. I have never said that, and I'm a flat earther. So are you some kind of, well, this is rhetorical. You're a doofus. I've already proven that in spades on many of occasions. And we'll do it again the next time you roll into Nathan's server. You're just a clown. I laughed in your face. Remember that? Jug you around by your short hairs for a little bit. You're just a clown. That's all you are. Period. What else you got?
Now it's, well, let's say that there is.
Now, guys, you've got to prove how a circling sun works on a physically impossible globe Earth.
Oh, you've got to prove how the sun works on the ball Earth that's impossible for other so it doesn't matter anymore, apparently.
It never did to begin with.
But that's important, because that's actually a true point from, because Nathan alluded to it earlier in his allusion to the fallacy that was being used. If the sun does this on an azimuthal equidistant projection of a globe,
yes,
then the Earth can't be flat. So if the sun does something when I consider it already to be on a globe, and the positions are globular, irrespective of them being laid out flat in the azimuthal format, yeah, this is a globular projection.
Yes.
So if the sun doesn't do certain things on my globe projection, then
yes. Shout out to Flatsy. She loves this part.
Good luck with that. Because we all know there's no practicality whatsoever suggests the globe Earth theory is anything but a theory.
Say again?
You're spinning.
Am I spinning? I can't be.
Yeah.
I'm green. I'm green all the way, baby. No drop frames. I'm golden. It's you. You're spinning.
Thank God it's me. I'm so happy, right, that is me.
Sounds like you need to get some fiber. That's what it sounds like.
Do you know a fiber guy?
Yeah, I got a fiber guy, man. Yes, I do. Here we go.
Theory. So it doesn't matter what happens in the sky.
Look at him shaking his head like a little moron down here. Mr. Rastafarian moron. You Rastafarian retard, you. Clown.
In December in Antarctica.
Oh, it doesn't matter anymore. So after 9...
It never mattered. Not after 9 years. It never mattered. Never mattered to me. Apparently, it never mattered to Nathan. It's not one of our housekeeping questions. Are you just parroting mind-numbing idiot baltards and what they told you? Idiot.
9 years. 9 years, folks.
It's 9 years. 9 years, folks. 9 years of nothing happening.
Appeal to age fallacy. I don't know. That is a fallacy in itself.
Yes, it is an appeal to age fallacy.
If it was 5 years, is that worse or better?
Remember, I was the host of the Baller Skeptic Roundtable back in 2015.
Oh, you were so he was the host of the Baller Skeptic Roundtable in 2015. So somebody did mention something about that, didn't they?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. This is why this is weird. So you've been around since the beginning. You've sat opposite Dave Weiss. Yeah. At the beginning of this.
Who was on this? Yeah, I don't remember this. I don't remember this Baller Skeptic Roundtable. I don't recall it. So that was before
Pico, Dave Weiss, John LeBon. They had people on like Eric DeBay, Wakey Wakey, things like that.
Really?
Yep.
They had their own YouTube channel?
No, it's done on John's channel. This was done on JLB.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so he just made this up, and it's called the Globe Skeptics Roundtable?
Yeah, and he had Dave Weiss as one of his co-hosts, along with, like I say, a whole litany of people that were now very popular. So he's properly interviewed Eric DeBay.
Okay.
On that format.
Okay, I never knew that existed. Was that in 2015?
Yeah, so it was a little while after I'd got here and started looking at this. Same with Brian. We've been here Brian and I about 10 years, and this was just after I'd arrived.
I never saw it. So this was a little bit before my time. Okay, fair enough.
I spoke to it's all that time.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, you didn't miss much for a start. But secondly, did John LeBon, did he, what's the word I'm looking for at the time? Did he offer objection at the time? Because if he didn't, then his video was about him.
No, he was highly skeptical of the ball. One of the things, because you said,
what I'm asking, listen.
Oh, sorry.
Let me finish. Right, when the topic was brought up about how a 24-hour Antarctic sun not being there proves a flat Earth, did he offer any objection to that?
I honestly can't recall. But what would add to that is being skeptical wouldn't be assuming the very thing that is trying to be proved in this instance. That's not very skeptical, but I honestly can't recall.
To have a flavour of John LeBon, Nathan, I would say, if I had to guess his position back then, he wouldn't be claiming like the accusation he's throwing at us, but he would be throwing at the ballers, where's your 24-hour sun in the south? He would be asking for the proof. Because he's a bear poker, isn't he? That's what yeah. So even back then, if in that position, if he was going to ask me to say what he'd be doing, he wouldn't be saying, "Wow, that's the determinant factor." He wouldn't be holding a position. He'd be just attacking the baller and saying, "Show your midnight sun," as that topic comes up. That would be part of his questioning.
Yeah, but when he sat there and heard someone like David Weiss say that no 24-hour sun in Antarctica would prove the Earth is flat, if he sat there and heard that happening and didn't object at the time, then this video is about him.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I would have imagined him objecting. He might say, well, have you got proof back to Dave Weiss? Of which, look, this is the point. Since all this inception, for as much as we know everything about all those other planets out there, yeah, and the ball we live on, we haven't got pictures of a midnight sun in Antarctica. That's the curiosity that's here, yeah. It's not a proof. It's not going to demonstrate anything to us with regards to the nature of the Earth, but it has and always will be until the good pastor himself, yeah, goes down there and does see or doesn't see a penguin sunbathe at midnight, yeah, and then that curiosity will be settled. But it's got nothing to do with flat Earth.
Can I go? Can I move on now?
You got it. Well, I'll start ranting.
Jesus.
The big flat earthers, I spoke with Mark Sargent, Jeranism, Eric Dubé, the Moore guy. I spoke with all of these people and many more. At that time, you couldn't go to Antarctica. It's off limits because they're hiding the secret.
Now that's
secret
false.
There's no.
Was that false? Yeah, I think that sounded a little suspect to me. Go ahead, Adam.
Okay, so I've looked into the documentation to go on this trip, and it's the same kind of what you're going to do with your poo, what you're going to do with Chris bags, declarations that you have to make to be in. Now, it might be facilitated by the travel agent, but you still have to make all these declarations. Okay, and that was the postulation back then. Nobody said you couldn't. They just said it was like so expensive that it was preclusive to be able to just do so. It's not like, can I go to Las Vegas? Yes, you can. There you go. And actually, it's quite cheap. Yeah. To go here, there was so many preclusions that it costs, right, to just get on a boat that's going there anyway and go there, yeah, and look at some penguins and come back on that boat costs you $15,000. Now, that's not because of the cost of the boat that was going there anyway in the first place. It's because of the red tape. Well, that's all that was ever pointed out in the past. To be able to go there was not open to the common man. I ain't got 15 grand. See,
but I knew back then when I first come out here. Listen, I heard Antarctica. It wasn't the midnight sun. It was just Antarctica. I'd hear it. I remember when I first come out here, and I said, "Okay, what's the significance?" So I looked into it, and I said, I saw cruise ships going down to Antarctica. Just a superficial. I didn't even dig into it. Right? I said, okay, I know people go down there. I didn't go into the cost or anything like that, but I knew there were cruise ships that went to designated places. And after I seen that, I just dropped it. I just went my merry way. It had no interest for me. Now, other than Admiral Byrd and all that stuff, I enjoy that Admiral Byrd stuff, I'd have to admit, because he's military, and I kind of had an affinity for that. But other than that, I dropped this. So he's full of shit.
Okay, this is a feast of nonsense. Just let me say that to me.
I hate to tell you. Go on.
Who's going to yield me out, Brian?
No, Nathan. I heard Nathan.
I'm moderating.
I heard Nathan first.
He came in first. Then Brian, then me.
Okay.
Okay, this is a feast of nonsense subject. So the expansion beyond the original, it's not even asserted correctly, but the necessary condition for the globe that this actually is. Beyond that, we have people talking about the Kobayashi map, puddles melted out in a great big sheet, extra suns beyond it. It's all speculation. Now, in more recent times, I've been pointing out to my audience that if you go back through the history of how we actually expanded the territories, it was all done flat. It's still used flat. That's how charts and maps are made. So in terms of what we've actually done, and if you're going to document this in this way, you talk about how we expanded the known territories. Now, in my opinion, the whole idea of having an area shrouded in mystery, not the area itself or the reasons for it, but having that put into this subject is done so that we waffle off into la-la land as flat earthers speculatively about areas beyond areas we do actually know, when we have actually expanded the territory flat, which would be the way I would steer this argument if somebody tried to get me to talk about this feast of nonsense subject. Brian, over to you.
Yeah, I hate to correct. I hate to say this, but it's actually incorrect what was said a few minutes ago. There is no cruise ships going down there. That's false.
Yeah, you're presupposing an antipodal position down.
Yeah,
but in reality, you need it down relative to
there may not be cruise ships
horizontal
going,
plane.
but, sorry to interrupt you, Flatsy. Just going to address Brian. Yeah, what is being suggested by JLB, trolling or otherwise, is the position of the flat earthers is you can't go down their Antarctic treaty. It's like, okay, but
you can.
To counter that, I interviewed a guy that was down there. So obviously,
no, you
there's
didn't.
people down there.
No, you didn't.
I'm with you, Brian. I get your point. Brian, no, give Brian space. I get your point, bro. Take it.
Yeah, there is no down there, Nathan.
Yeah.
I remember when
yeah.
Brian used to tell me off for majoring on the minors when I'm in the middle of a different point that's much more important.
Yeah.
But no, let's just be the bigger man that Brian couldn't be 6 months ago and say, you're right, Brian, there's no down. It's the most important thing here.
Not 6 months ago.
Don't worry about it. We understand. We got it. That there's no down. He made a little slip up, but don't lose the major.
You
point.
did too. No, you
so
did
did
too.
you.
So what?
You were corrected, not Nathan.
Between Brian and I, Brian,
don't
stop. I just want to say one thing to Brian. Don't stop correcting me. As much as I want to brace against it and tell you off and be thrashing around, don't stop correcting me.
So what's okay? Good. We got that point. So what's the main point here? He's mischaracterizing the situation. He's mischaracterizing the situation. My personal experience, he mischaracterized. Right? Simple.
There's a bigger point I want to make, and you made it. I enjoy the Admiral Byrd stuff. So do I. Yeah? It's a real point of consideration. It's a curiosity. What went off? These tales don't make sense. It's a bit like listening to Witsit. They're contradictory.
Yes.
Yeah? So there is that. Now, in the beginning, in 2015, when we do this and we're realizing the Earth's flat, and trying to gather evidence. This is part of the shit that's put to us. Now, during the journey, Admiral Byrd, along with Antarctic Sun, yes or nay, is cast aside.
Yep.
Within our quest. It's not, we recognize it. It's just, as I've said, a curiosity. It wouldn't prove shit either way. It's not part of what we've done. And we can demonstrate, Mr. JLB, that it's not part of our journey, that it was cast aside early. I used the analogy earlier with the housekeeping questions, yeah, because that demonstrates they were built up over time. I've never heard anybody during the show or after show suggest, I've heard plenty of suggestions for new housekeeping questions. Never, ever has that.
Yeah. Never.
Non-confirmed phenomena ever been suggested.
Yeah, exactly. No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is a farce. This is a fairy tale. They're delusional. They're trying to impose some type of guilt, right? I'm looking at them sitting there. Do people actually believe you? I mean, do you mean a Jedi mind trick? You abject retard baltards. Do you actually believe this stuff?
No, don't. It's not the baltards that are at fault. It's the flat earthers that are at fault. They've been led by the Pied Piper of Dave Weissism down the merry road of Antarctica being critical to the argument.
Sure.
So that's all they bleed and talk about, stupid flat earthers.
Yeah, there's pretended clown flat earthers in this, but the baltards that are listening to the King baltards, they're Jedi mind trick too. I mean, there's thousands of them. I read comments, right? I read their idiot comments.
Yeah, they're both following the same. The ballers and the flatties are all following the same Pied Piper.
Yep.
Now, for this reason, it's now relevant. I wasn't going to drop it in. Level Earth Observer braces against being called a flat earther. He doesn't like it. Yeah, he's a realist.
Oh, brother. Realism was...
Yeah. Just let me get to the end of my point, though.
Yeah, good.
And I'm not going to condemn him for the reasoning, right? I'm just going to say, no, I get why you'd want to do that. And it's because of things like this, feast of nonsense garbage that he wouldn't want to ascribe himself to in a group called Flat Earth. That's how I apologise. I used to do the same for Bev. But my point is that he doesn't want to be called a Flat Earther. And in my humble opinion, it's because of crap like this. idiot flat earthers who latch onto the controlled opposition narrative of extended worlds that we have to speculate about when we've mapped and charted the world flat already, and we can prove it through history. So we've got to be taken into a la-la land rather than the demonstrable facts.
Yep.
Well, this demonstrable realist doesn't want to be called a flat earther, and in my opinion, that's why.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, for me, that is like when I'm a flat earther. That doesn't mean I'm not a realist. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not my fault. There's other people out there who call themselves flat earthers, and they follow all kinds of nonsense. But that doesn't mean that I can't call myself a flat earther. I am a flat earther. I'm just a real one, as opposed to a fairy tale flat earther.
Exactly.
But do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat, Brian?
100%.
That's the difference.
And I can prove that with measurement.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Not the position of the sun in winter in the south.
No, that's not one of them. Never was.
There's a little bit. Well, when I interjected Brian and say, go on, I thought you were going to take the argument up. Respectfully to everyone, I said, whether or not it's projected on an azimuthal equidistant projection to prove that it of a globe, to prove that it's not a globe, and we position the sun, is one thing. But I thought that where Brian was going was, if I take a flight on an aeroplane to Ushuaia, right, and we can talk about the pitch there, I won't elaborate there, but I then get on a boat, how is that evidence that I'm either at the perimeter of an ice wall or this forbidden continent? And I genuinely, because of the subdiffusion lies that are here, any boat trip that is prohibitory because of its expense by its very nature, as demonstrated, hence the fundraising, it's a tricky place to get to. You can't just go there and do your own shit. It's not like the Rocky Mountains, is it? Yeah. So this lovely, how is going to this place even relevant unless you can demonstrate the place? Something we can't do. We could do with real pitch data, but it's like a problem. You know, Nathan, do you remember when the Channel 4 show took people to space and they just mugged people off? They sat them in an old RAF base for a week, training them, and then they hypnotized them and put them in a thing. This is the same thing. There's no reason to hypnotize because the scenery is what you would expect, but that's not a proof that you've gone to an antipodal position. And that's the assumption here within, if you are going to look at the sun, that whilst you're looking at the sun, this is antipodal. I can't even, as a flat earther, presuppose an ice wall and say you've gone to the ice wall. I ain't got a clue. I know these penguins on the Falkland Islands. It could be somewhere south of there. It doesn't demonstrate anything to do with the construct. To me, it could be just like I say, just a flim flam. Wherever you end up, it doesn't necessarily mean you are where the firm and the consequent starts you out at. Sorry for the ramble.
If you want to control the opposition, you lead it, and we've been led here
by numpties, pretender clown flat earthers, and idiot baltards. Mainly by pretender clown flat earthers. Here we go.
Night sun. So it's gone from that to, well, yeah, maybe it can go, and maybe there is a midnight sun, but the globe Earth is still impossible, they say.
The physicality of this Earth proves to us all that the globe's impossible. I dare you to try and refute me.
Well, they are refuting you. They're going in December. Remember, you were saying you flat.
No, flat earthers aren't going in December. Nope, that's a category error. True earthers are going in December. Not flat earthers, John. Get that right.
They're not refuting him. They haven't seen anything yet. And the thing they see can't refute him.
Exactly.
Like the problem here is that even if someone did say back in 2015, 2016, that a 24-hour Antarctic sun proves a globe, or not one proves a flat plane, right? Even if someone did say that and they've been in the subject since then, now they'd have to have a different position because there's so much evidence to the contrary that proves that means nothing. It shows that there's so much evidence, there's real evidence that has shown up, that you don't need that. Any pre-assumptions about that or what it does and doesn't do. So it wouldn't matter what someone said years ago.
Yep.
Just in case we end shortly, but Brian made a really good point in regards to this. Why is this all happening? Because that's normally the most interesting point of any story. Or why is it happening? Well, so they can hand wave 10 years of proving Earth's flat and moving past the assumption of a globe into showing how the globe was created with flat Earth measurements. So ignoring all of that, you can rewind time 10 years and say, hey, check it out. Nathan, when he had hair, said he'd like to go to Antarctica. And it's just a hand wave. That's all this is, in case, we get past this, because we might end up going back to Witsit shortly.
No, we're not. We'll wait for Saturday. We're well past that. We're almost 2 hours in, and we're only 3 minutes into this. Here we go.
There is no midnight sun. Have we forgotten that already? Are we just going to memory hole the last 9 years, are we?
No, not a memory hole, just an asshole. You.
That's projection. He's ignoring 10 years of what we've actually done.
Exactly.
Physical demonstrations proving the globe in the comments. I suspect all we're going to get is pantomime. Have a good one.
Yeah, you need to fix your mic too, Level Earth Observer.
Pantomime, he says. Have a good one. All right, so you see what's happening here, folks. They've gone from... That's a stereotype fallacy. No Antarctica, you can't go there. No trips there, not happening.
That's a lie.
And there's no midnight sun to... Well, maybe maybe you can go and... Well, maybe...
Another lie.
Maybe there is a midnight sun, but...
You're a liar. Too, JLB. Simple.
The Earth is still flat, is what they're saying. Now, I know that they do this kind of thing. I predicted it. And...
Oh, you predicted it? Look at this idiot. Look at this clown. I'll slap you, you half a sissy. Go ahead.
Just want to know what that kind of thing we do is. What? Look at a thing, see it's a curiosity, identify as such, not use it moving forwards in argumentation with regards to the nature of the surface on which we dwell, abandoning it, and then some idiot grifter pastor who's on financial charges for other types of fraud, comes into the community and suddenly it's been our coup de grace. After all these years, shove your flight data up your jacksie. No one's ever been interested in that. What? Celestial navigation? Gas pressure without containment? Nobody ever cites that. All we've ever sat there is wondering whether or not penguins can sunbathe at midnight in the winter.
Yes.
Okay, in the interest of balance, right? We all attack anti-flat earthers and numpty flatties that will ascribe a question proof to the idea that not seeing 24-hour sun says that Earth's flat. We know this happens. So yes, he's stereotyping us, and that's not me attempting in any way to undermine what Adam just said. He's absolutely correct. Adam is correct, and that is the stance that we would take. But there is a stereotype fallacy to be had, and that's what he's utilising to troll flatties. And he is right, because there are loads of dipshit flat earthers that I'm glad he's addressing, because they will do this. Oh, well, there's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica, full stop. The implication on a show that's headed Flat Earth is Proven is that this is somehow a flat earth proof. He's leaning into that. And as much as I hate it's a stereotype and we wouldn't do it, and Adam's just demonstrated what we would shrug off and how we'd shrug it off, and how it's not our coup de grace that we've held for 10 years because it would be on the housekeeping questions. But he's still right to attack numpty dipshit flat earthers for this, isn't he? Just so we're all rewired to who this is aimed at. It ain't us. If he gets to me on the video, maybe.
My point of attack there, yes, you're totally right there.
He's wrong.
Let me finish. If JLB was leveling this just at numpty flat earthers because he was a noob, like some of the videos we reviewed, right? That guy that looked at the environmental impacts of diversity, equality, and whatever, or the effect that lesbians can have on the environment, and decided to review Flat Earth as a video. You can make the apologetics here. What I've said from the beginning here, this isn't that somebody that's wandering into this topic. This is a guy that held Flat Earth court in 2015, fundamentally, yeah? So he should know better. And he's either, like I say, he's either trolling us with this level of straw man that he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's a liar.
Yeah. And that's, what are you doing, dude? What is going off? Yeah,
he's lying.
Well, right, so what's important then is,
Well,
right,
wait,
so
before you go back to him, he's lying. And Nathan, they weren't numpty flat earthers. They're not flat earthers, and never were, by the way. That's where your characterization went off the rail.
Yeah, but at the time,
be.
Hold on, just let me address that. So at the time when he's co-hosting with Dave Weiss, he's your true earther you're referring to now, isn't it? Well, he's branding himself Flat Earth then. He's branding himself Flat Earth now, and he'll be using this argument in a context of this proves Flat Earth. Then, now, and probably in the future.
Yeah.
Well, this is your true earther, isn't it?
Yes.
Right, but that's why we're stereotyped.
Yeah, that's why that's why stereotypes are fallacies, number one. And number two, they weren't flat earthers. They were flat earthers only in name. Go ahead, Brian.
No, I've not finished.
Oh, you're not finished? Can you finish?
Yeah. And I want your response. We used the term why earlier. Okay. And in my indictment, it's not out of frustration for JLB's mental progression in this topic. Yeah. It's an indictment. And I ask the question, why? Why, after all this time, is he now turning up?
Yep.
Yeah. With his pay. Yeah. Who's sponsoring him to pay up? Or is he just doing this retardation straw man nonsense that shows he's the contrary to who he is, which is he's got no idea. He's just like some EI officer discussing lesbian environmental impact. Yeah, that's why is he presenting himself in this position? This is why I asked why. This is weird, JLB, for you to be trolling like this on this topic. Like I said earlier, when you know you've got the sources to have yourself informed, but more importantly, you actually come in and just misrepresent us.
Yep.
It's a bit like when he did it to you, QE, with the sky, yeah, and the star rotation.
Mm-hmm.
It's nonsensical that if you've been here this long, that you can be still this ill-informed.
Yes, exactly. And you said,
you
said, hold on. He said, Adam said he should know better. No, he does know better.
No, he doesn't. No, that's where I was going to interject.
Yes, he does know better.
Let me interject to say why he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Doesn't know better because the basis that you took him apart on, you personally took him apart on with the star rotation, right? Clockwise, anti-clockwise. That also requires an antipodal assumption, doesn't it?
Yes.
So therefore, he doesn't know. He doesn't realise how this fallacy breaks down. The assumption of antipodal positioning.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. He does know flat earthers' positions, is what I'm saying. Actual flat earthers' positions. That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
And I'm saying, Q, if he was a decent journalist, a man of integrity, given the contacts he's got before doing this and casting aspersions that all of us have got our backs up against the wall in case we see the sun in December, yeah, that he's got the ability to have given a much more informed opinion, which is why JLB had a bit of respect back in the day. Because he was there, he was one of the, he didn't take a position, but he was asking for information. This is ignorant.
Yep.
And I say demonstrably ignorant for a agenda, because he's got the ability to inform himself.
Purposeful.
You only got to pick the phone up to Nathan.
Purposeful ignorance there, Adam. This is purposeful ignorance right here. He knows better. Not he should know better. Brian, do you want to add something before we move on?
No, I just add that I totally agree with you.
Okay.
That it's dishonest.
Yep.
And the reason I predicted it was because they've done it before, and I'll show you evidence of that in just a moment. But first, so I chatted with Will Duffy about his final experiment, and the fact that he's going to Antarctica, he's giving a free ticket to the flat earthers who've been saying for 9 years there's no flat. You can't have a midnight sun on the.
So he's giving a free ticket to flat earthers, no, to true earthers that have been saying for 9 years. One of those is Whitsitt. He hasn't been saying anything for 9 years because he hasn't been out here for 9 years. So
also, you can't give a free ticket, singular, to flat earthers.
Yes, exactly. This is pretty funny, JLB.
Sorry, is there an indictment upon a flat earther if they don't accept a free ticket? Does that mean that they've been chatting shit?
What I'm suggesting here is that there is a singular free ticket that Will Duffy is offering, but by whatever means he's decided to lies in the case of me, because he's had no communication with me, none. Besides a comment on one of my videos long before he claimed that I'd turned down some non-existent free ticket. So he's padding out this one free ticket to make it seem like there's a whole bunch of flat earthers that have rejected a free ticket that doesn't exist. It's been accepted, as far as I'm under the impression, from Jaron. Therefore, there's no longer a singular free ticket available. But he's still punting it like it is.
I'd like to change the scenario a little bit to us guys, yeah? So, guys, if there were loads of free tickets, imagine like these like road trip to Antarctica, and everyone can go. We can all, and whether we see penguins or suns or iceberg, whatever, yeah, we're all invited. That's not the situation. There was one ticket to scrabble for. You watch those people humiliate themselves as they scrabbled for that ticket. Yeah.
No. That ticket didn't exist. That was not a free ticket that existed. He's got one free ticket, and through lies and deception, he's managed to pad out his one free ticket to make a whole list on his website of flat earthers that have apparently declined the other free ticket. What other free ticket? There isn't another free ticket.
Yes, correct.
And that free ticket was the one that Nathan wasn't offered.
Yes,
by Will Duffy.
Exactly.
Just so you know. The one that didn't exist.
Yes, exactly.
Because of that naughty, naughty boy.
The one that he wasn't offered, that he didn't turn down, that he was then accused of turning down after being offered.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that didn't exist because of the naughty boy.
Flat Earth, and they're all jumping like rats off a sinking ship off of that flat Earth proof. But the Earth is still.
It wasn't a flat Earth proof. It never was. You're just a liar.
All of the flat Earth proofs, one by one, have been shot down.
Really? One by one have been shot down. Have you been to my website, John LeBon?
It's just poking the bear. Baseless assertion. Move on.
Yep.
Been blown to smithereens. But
that shows dishonesty.
The only thing you've blown to smithereens is your boyfriend.
The Earth is still flat. They're certain of it.
They came from
Brian's right, though. Brian's right. Brian just dropped it in and he's correct, so I might as well reiterate what Brian just said. He said that's a lie. Well, no, that is an overt lie. My baseless assertion is saying all the flat Earth proofs, let's just take him for what he said, all flat Earth proofs have now been cut down. No, they have not. That's a lie. Baseless assertion to poke the bear, but more importantly, as Brian points out, that's just a lie.
Yep.
No, that is not the case. Elevation angles, flight data in the case of pitch data, survey, the list goes on and on and on. Cut them down one by one. Otherwise, it's a baseless assertion.
Yep.
It's also a completely illogical statement, because if something was a flat Earth proof, then it's something that's a proof. It can't be dismissed afterwards.
Exactly.
And what you turn it down with respect to?
Yeah, what's it with what's it with respect to? Very good point. Yep.
Institutions and insane asylums.
Now you might be thinking, JLB, why? I thought you stopped talking about flat Earth. I thought you'd already. Okay, fair enough. I was recently on an interview, a live stream with this Understanding Conspiracy. His name is Paul. Is the guy who runs this.
I thought you'd already stopped the right. So if you've stopped talking about it, you've resolved it in your own mind. So I can only assume from what we've heard before, his resolution is he's back on the ball. You agree with that?
No. No, JLB is definitely not on the ball. If you actually speak to him, he's a bit like Level Earth Observer and Bev in that regard. No, he'll accept that space is fake, and he knows that he's been lied to about heliocentrism. He definitely knows that. He's exposed plenty of it, so he couldn't go back on any of that. But in terms of the ball Earth skeptic position that he had then and would retain now, he definitely wouldn't say he's a flat earther, but you definitely wouldn't call him a heliocentrist.
No, but
he's not on the ball.
I get it now. That is one hell of an indictment. Yeah, he's a wanker that's here for his own self-gratification.
He's just making an asshat out of himself. A Rastafari ass.
He said he was the same as people like Bev and Whitsitt, yeah? Wankers that are here for their own self-gratification. So what this guy's done is, I'll flip-flop, yeah? So that people think I'm great. And this, yeah. That's the shit that annoys me in 2024.
Yep. Brian, quick point? Or no?
Yeah, I don't know how. In a way, Nathan, I can't really understand how you can say what you're saying, because he's just shot down the flat Earth, and this is what he's saying. He's saying all the flat Earthers are running or some nonsense like that. So that would mean he'd have to know what the Earth is. So if it's not a globe, he's not into heliocentrism, it's not flat, then what is it, John LeBon?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could even give you his answer. I could even give you his answer. He'd say, no, I can take his position of skepticism. I don't have to take a firm line on any of this. I can just be skeptical about the positions that are presented to me.
That's incoherent.
Why?
Yeah, well, why? I'm just telling you what he would say as a skeptic.
As a skeptic, that's stupid.
But when you present pitch data to him or celestial navigation and he refuses to deal with it, yeah, it means he's not here for the truth. It means he's a wanker. He's got his own agenda. I can't speak to his agenda.
Yeah.
When's the last time you've talked to this crayon muncher, Nathan?
I did an interview with him within the last 12 months. It's actually up on his channel. You can see me being interviewed by him. Edited as well, so it's like short and concise.
That he interviewed you or you interviewed him?
He interviewed me.
No, I'm talking about you interviewing him. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know if I've ever interviewed him, but he interviewed me in the last 12 months.
Okay, that's not what I meant. Did he give...
How can Nathan...
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, how can Nathan read his mind?
I don't... He's known JLB. I've known this for a long time. And he's already admitted, and I've known it, that he's like JLB. So Nathan has some empathetic strings to certain individuals.
Oh, yes.
I like JLB. Right? JLB introduced me into the concept of whether or not.
So do you.
Go ahead, Adam.
JLB introduced me into the concept of whether or not North Korea could or not be real. Real good philosophical points. Yeah? And that's fine. Because they make you think about the world. But when we're talking about facts, truths, things that are objective in our reality, to deny them after the number of years we've spent, JLB, you're a wanker, mate. If you're going to ignore the hard work we've put in and just ignore it, it's there evidenced for you. Now, it might be tough and it might ruin your grift, yeah, to have to deal with the facts because they will resolve the issue. But that's why I'd call you a wanker, mate, because you're ignoring all the hard work. That, as I said respectfully, you were way before me, and thank you for that. But you've turned into a scrote by the looks of it, a big hippie arse, dirty, sweaty-looking bastard by the looks of it.
Rastafarian scrote.
Yeah, get a wash, have a shave, yeah, and wise up, son, because your credibility is disappearing here.
It's disappeared already.
You pimp your agenda.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's already disappeared. Yep, he's done.
What I'd say, Adam, is that... Sorry.
What you would say, what I would say, I was going to play the video.
Okay, I'll go quiet.
About a heap of topics, I'll put a link to this in the show notes below. We only touched on Flat Earth for like 5 or 10 minutes. And yet, what do you think is the main topic that people are talking about in the comments if you had to get. So we spoke about lots of things for 2 hours, and then for the last half hour we spent maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, maybe tops, talking about.
You know what, John?
So what?
John QE, could you just pause for a minute? Because I'd like to just. Could you just twist just a little bit, QE? That's perfect. Your back's perfectly positioned for me to now piss down it.
Yep. You have no point here, JLB. You're a moron.
So of all of that, what do you think was the
all of what? You didn't say anything yet.
Topic that the people in the comments wanted to talk about? Well, let's scroll down here.
Okay, let's scroll.
Take a little look. Ah, this person who says my name, my last name. They say, oh, that's a false statement. When I was explaining this, oh, it's a proof of a flat earth. Oh, actually, we changed it. Oh, that's a false statement. Ball Earth model doesn't match anything in reality. Well, I made a mistake, folks. I replied to this person. I explained, well...
Holy shit bollocks. I've got a mouthful of sandwich. Somebody interject.
I was going to just let him go for a little bit, right? This is pretty freaking hilarious. I'm not interjecting.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
You don't need to hear it. Everyone can read it. Do you want me to read it out loud?
I want that. No, I want to hear it.
I don't think he's going to read the whole... I haven't watched this. Adam, you haven't watched this either. Is he going to read this thing?
I've got no fudging idea. I guess I watched the minute.
Press play. Press play
let's see if he reads it.
Model, whether you like it or you don't, can explain the flights between Australia and South America. It can do that. It also explains the lights in the sky. This model does explain those things, whether you like it or not.
Right, stop,
and
pause.
This person came back.
Double train wreck.
Who's going on this?
Adam said pause.
Nathan, I'm just going to freaking pop right now.
Oh, well, you're eating a sandwich, so I'll go.
There you go.
Okay, right. So, lights in the sky, again, you're saying it might take you some effort to go through the videos that we've covered on this subject. But when it comes to the lights in the sky, we're taking it to the advanced level. Now, I'm going to appeal to something that I know will be a little jab to JLB when it comes to his primary source research that he's done. It's like, well, if you're going to appeal to the model that accounts for this stuff, how did that model get created, if you're going to call it a model, which it isn't? Right, this paradigm that's been created after the fact has origins, and those origins, developed by the church, the Roman Catholic Church, to better predict where the stars would be. You're right, in an aspect of it. But how did that model come to fruition with flat Earth measurements, something we cover extensively? Now, I'm not suggesting that JLB should be watching us to the extent that we've been covering it for the last, 3 years, I'm going to say? Exposing bit by bit to the audience how the flat Earth measurements turn into the globe, what he's calling model. So if you're going to say it predicts X, Y, and Z with the stars, okay, fine. I'll give it you as a win if you like. But that has its origins in flat Earth angle measurements of the stars to create that model, in quotes, from JLB. So if you're going to call it a model and call it a win for the model, you need to know the origins. Your primary source research is showing to be lacking. You need to find out where that model came from. And it came from flat Earth angle measurements to the stars, JLB. Something we've been exposing for quite a number of years now. But not this Antarctic crap, just so you know. The origins of this claim are flat Earth angle measurements to the stars. Earth is measured flat for the ball model to work. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I'll take part two. This flight between Australia and South America. Well, get the pitch data of that flight and see what contour that matches. Yeah, bozo.
Is
You know what I mean?
striking the one in the middle real quick. The time zones. Why are we bringing up something that is completely arbitrary and man-made? Time zones have nothing to do with the shape of the Earth.
Can we?
Oh, but they do.
Pause.
What they do.
I've cleared my mouth for sandwich. That is a false statement.
Superchat.
Is QE around to read the super chat?
I can read them.
Wait there, Flatsy.
What,
Super chat.
Super chat. Super fiber.
Roger Ledwell sent both of these. He sent evening Adam and greeting panel members. And then he also sent, I am still subscribed to JLB.
Oh,
He used
okay.
wrong too. He used
Me
wrong
too. Love
so-
me some JLB. Thanks for the super chat.
Yeah, we knew that, Nathan. I'll bet you Adam's still subscribed too. Hey, Brian, don't you think?
How the hell could I have shown
He definitely
you the
watches
video tonight if I
his
wasn't
videos.
subscribed?
He didn't allow me to speak. Where did this video come from, QE?
Adam.
Can I tell you guys something really quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Flatsy.
The tower that we have for the computer changes colors like with a press of a button, and Booger has been changing the color to whatever color the super chats have been.
That's cool. Good way to go, Booger. Yeah, thanks. Yep. You're not getting away, Adam. We're still on to this.
Yeah, indict me and let me accept the indictment. Yes, I'm still subscribed. That's why
We knew it.
My feed. It came up in my feed. That was the opening statement that has sent this show completely sideways. Yeah. I've not hid that. I'm not JLB. I've nothing to deceive you with.
Okay, we're indicting bloody Adam on his subscriptions. Who cares, right? The guy was just mentioning time zones that absolutely prove Earth's flat. Brian was going to address it, and then he didn't.
Go ahead, Brian.
No, I've still not done.
Oh, well, hurry up.
The opening statement that he wants to strawman the shit out of, and this is what's frustrating, especially when you got a mouthful of sandwich. That is a flat Earth statement. Ball Earth model doesn't match anything in reality. So we're not dealing with flat Earth then. None of this has got anything to do with the flat Earth. We want to whether or not your argument to attack the ball Earth is valid. Is that where he's still at in 2024?
God, bloody good point. Sorry, Brian. Just go along with Adam's vein here. Yeah, absolutely. In 2024, I've been going out and about to preach the fact that we don't need to do this. It's not our argument. We haven't got a horse in this race. Who cares what people believe in if they want to believe in a globe? We know it's measured flat and demonstrate that. Now, people come to us with their appeal to their religion of being on a ball, and then flat earthers choose to argue whether or not that's the case. That's not our category. It's not, as it keeps getting said, it's nothing to do with flat earth. Now, the fact that it's been sandwiched in by people like Dave Weiss as a question proof for being a flat earth example when you demonstrate that we may or may not have a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, that's idiots that don't understand what does or does not prove the nature of their reality in terms of the aspect of measurement of a flat plane. That's what we deal with. This has nothing to do with it. But even in, and I think this is Adam's point, even in the chosen comment that JLB's gone to, are we talking about flat earth? When it says at 1 hour 59:30, that is a false statement. Ball Earth model doesn't match anything. Okay, so we're talking about the Ball Earth model. What's that? When have we been shown it? But we're not talking about flat Earth anymore.
All right, we good?
If I know that your critique of the Ball Earth model is false, then it's still a ball. This is like what he came to QE with, yeah. If I can show that rotational things means this, that, it doesn't matter. That's his mindset. He's still on a ball, yeah. And the only thing he'll deal with is bally, not flat Earth proofs. Unless, of course, he strawmans you into believing that whether or not you see the midnight sun in Antarctica is a flat Earth proof, which may or may not have been claimed back in 2015. Alzheimer boy.
Alzheimer boy. Go ahead, Brian. Do you want to get into this, or you just want to let it go?
Oh no, I just wanted two things. Number one, I have to disagree with one thing that was said there by Nathan, and I'm not trying to over-critique you, Nathan, but this is a fair point. This is not relating to the heliocentric paradigm now, just to the globe Earth. Although the heliocentric paradigm is directly connected to it, every time someone mentions heliocentrism or just the globe Earth, they are directly speaking about flat Earth. Because it all comes from there. So, so this guy talking, the globe Earth, blah, 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 doesn't show out. No, I'm sorry. You're actually speaking about a paradigm that has mathematically been derived from a flat reality, right? So yes, in that way, they are every single time. Every ball out there who's speaking about ball out, they're speaking about a flat plane, right? That's just the reality of it. Number two, time zones. No, that's incorrect. On the globe, there's 32 time zones. In reality, just 24. And the time zones prove that from the equator south, the longitude lines continue to diverge from a north-central point. To prove this, Australia, between Newcastle north of Sydney and Perth, which are both on the 32nd degree parallel south, there is about around 2,000 miles of distance. There is only 2 hours of difference in the times, in their correct local times. So when it's 8 o'clock in Newcastle, it's 6 o'clock in Perth. That never changes, right? You can have daylight savings, which will add on an hour, but daylight savings aren't correct local time. They're not UTC time. They're just a made up. They're not based off of a 24-hour solar day. They're just a made up concept. Across the 32nd parallel north, in the north, across the same distance between Charleston, or almost the same, slightly more, but almost exactly the same, between Charleston in South Carolina and Long Beach, Southern California, there is 3 time zones of correct local time. So 3 hours difference of correct local time. So that same parallel, north and south, the one in the south, 2 hours, the one in the north, 3 hours at the same parallel. That's because the Earth is a flat plane. And the longitude lines are horizontals that diverge from the center point. They do not start to converge after the equator.
Yep. There's a few flat Earth words in that. Got degrees, latitude. We've got parallel, and what was the other one that you used? I've forgotten. There was the third one. Oh yeah, north, south. Yeah, these are all flat Earth terminologies.
You missed another one.
What's the other one?
Distances.
Oh yeah, I just forgot it on my list. Yeah. I didn't remember. I should have written it down. Yeah, and distances. Yeah, all of these things are flat Earth prerequisite. You must have a flat Earth to describe north, south, to describe latitude, to describe a degree measurement, to describe parallel, to describe distance. All of these things require Earth be a flat plane.
Yes, sir. Can you, since you're buddy with JLB, if you want to be with me, you got to have one. Can you get him back on your show?
I don't see why not.
See, go ahead and reach out to him and tell. We're not going to be rude or anything. I'm not going to bring up the stars spinning in opposite directions or anything. Just to go through just a couple small little flat Earth proofs and see how he reacts.
Okay. Just as a matter of point, there probably won't be a show tomorrow because I'm in an absolute huge ton of pain. So I'm not up to running a show. So if you're expecting a public service tomorrow, sorry.
Oh, well, thanks for bringing that up. Did you make the dentist appointment yet?
Yeah, I can't remember a time in my life when I've had uncontrollable tears and screamed like a baby. So as he poked around in my mouth trying to find what was wrong, everything was fine until it wasn't. And I described the pain to him. And when he hit it with his little pokey stick, I screamed. And for about 2 straight minutes, as he's working on me, right, there's streams of water coming out of my mouth, and they're pooling in the back of my neck because I'm lying horizontally.
Yes.
And it's all this water's pooling behind me, and I can't stop. Anyway.
Now, is this the second appointment you already made? Yeah?
Yeah, I've just got an infection, so there's nothing wrong with my fillings. It's just I've got an infection. That's it.
Super toothache.
Roger Ledwell, he sent 2 or 2 is my cross 2 bear. How about that? That was still wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check that. Thanks, Roger. So let's get some more information on this relatively quickly.
No.
Shut up, Adam.
No, because I want to give you a bit of kudos. And the listeners, if it wasn't for QE's pharmaceutical training and knowledge, Nathan would not have gone back to the dentist.
That's an inside joke, people. You don't need to know it. So he did
I
go
always
back.
go to QE for my dental issues.
Yes, exactly right.
Yes. After advice from Adam and QE, I went back saying, should it still hurt? They were like, no. So I went back, and then there's a problem. I've got an infection. So I'm just on antibiotics now.
Okay. Now, you're going to be here Saturday for BALLBUSTERS, right?
I don't know. I'm in a huge amount of pain. I mean, I've got so many painkillers in me at the moment. It's great.
Take some Vicodin and be here Saturday.
What's the antibiotic? I just want to see if I'm going to check out this.
I'll grab the box. Let's carry on. I'll tell you in chat.
Okay.
My wife said something. She heard me say that. I'm not going to repeat it. Go. Where are we at?
If it comes back with just amoxicillin, right? He's a wuss.
They just gave you amoxicillin. That's it.
If it's metronidazole, I've got some respect for him. He might be in a bit of pain, but if it's amoxicillin, just call him out.
I've got it. I've got the box. It's called. I don't know how to pronounce this. I have to spell it. I'm really sorry. METRONIDAZOLE.
That's metronidazole. So you're saved. You lucky bastard.
What does that mean? I'm saved. All I said to the chemist was, "How long before this takes the pain away?"
Did he not tell you not to drink on those?
Yeah, he did tell me not to drink. I don't drink anyway.
I know you don't, but it's important that.
Okay, are we done with the dental interview here? Can we move on?
Yeah, he's validated himself. He is proper hurty poorly.
You're just butthurt because I called you and Nathan out yesterday because he was asking you.
You bollocks, mister. You tried to hijack my professional advice as your own.
No, he shouldn't be asking dental advice to a pharmacist. That's friggin' stupid. He could have asked me. I could have told him same thing in like 25 times less time.
Yeah, but
don't listen to them little simpy.
Competition between these two. Absolutely adorable.
Don't listen to them little simpy JLB subs.
Yeah, Nathan and Adam. You got that right, Brian. Let's continue.
Came back with more gobbledygook. So I went and looked at their channel. So that same person is saying, oh, no, the ball earth model doesn't work for all of these reasons. Okay.
There is no ball earth model. When you come on Nathan's show, bring it with you. We want to see it.
Okay. I went and looked at their channel. They've got one video. The video is called...
So when you go to their channel, they got one video. What does that mean? By mere innuendo? Have you ever heard of an innuendo fallacy?
Real UFO light flew about 100 feet above me. This is their video. It's a light in the sky.
What is this, an at-home? So this is an at-home.
Let's play this. Let's see where he's going.
Okay.
Just flying along. And that's it. That's the video. That's their real UFO light. And the comments, the people in the comment section are giving them grief for that. But they go on about flat Earth.
Nice at-home. You know that's fallacious? JLB. Moron.
So these are the kind of people, if you're still
a flat... You didn't spit that out. Was that a sentence fragment? Was that like electrify or electripa? Let's hear it again.
Giving them grief for that. But they go on about flat Earth. So these are the kind of people...
Yep, flat Earth. Flat Earth. What the hell is that, John?
This is poisoning the well, fellas.
Yeah, that's an at-home. Yeah.
No, this is
what he's doing.
The well. It's to attack their ability to judge reality.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a direct attack that if you're a flat earther, the reason is you can't tell the difference between a fucking street light and a UFO. That's how stupid flat earthers are.
The sentence fragment was because he was trying to attach it to a stereotype fallacy. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, what's going on here, I didn't want to go into it a few minutes ago, but now I think I should, after this episode here, is that what's going on here is that there's a load of people in the comments talking about the one little bit of flat earth that was spoken about in his 2-hour live stream, whatever the hell it was. And he went into every other stupid conspiracy he could go into that I bet you he has no actual proof or truth. That to match anything he says in there. It's all up in the air. It might be this, it might be that. Because conspiracy theorists don't want truth, right? And so the one thing he did go into where there is some evidence for, which is flat Earth, he's complaining about all the people in the comments who are focusing on that section of his video. He wants them to focus on these reptilians and the this and that, the other thing, and the God knows what nonsense he's going to come up. I mean, like, yeah, everyone's focusing on the biggest issue and the thing that can be proven and is proven. That's what people are focusing on. And he's not happy about that because all these other conspiracies nobody cares about. Finished.
Thanks.
If you're still a flat earth after all these years,
he should ask, who the fuck
come on,
is Kim Jong-un? Right? Till he can prove to me that he doesn't exist. He's full of shit. This is really bad.
Yeah.
That's their real UFO light. And the comments, the people in the comment section are giving them grief for that. But they go on
Holy
about
shit,
flat earth, flat
these
earth.
days.
So these are the kind of people, if you're still a flat earth after all of these years, these are the kinds of people you're mixing with, by the way.
What a wanker. What a wanker.
You're that feeble. You're like just this little feeble Mr. Magoo Rastafarian, dude. Did you listen to that last statement that you just made?
QE, question. As a flat earther, you see that street light in the background? Is that a UFO or the end of ET's finger? How are you as a flat earther perceiving that street light?
The end of ET's finger. I never thought you were going to go there. Wait, nice one, Adam.
By the way, in case you're not aware of that. Now, I want to talk about something very important. I knew that the flat earth was changing.
What? How stupid you are? That's not that important.
By the way, in case you're not aware of that. Now, I want to talk about something very important. I knew.
I'm just having a moment.
Your sex change operation, John, the JLB. Is that what we're going to talk about now?
What flat earther would invoke a light in the sky as a spaceship that can actually have interplanetary travel? I'm lost.
Well, the guy never claimed that his video had nothing to do with flat Earth. He was just showing something he saw in the sky. So what?
Yeah.
Knew that the flat earth was changed. Once Will Duffy called their bluff and said, I'll pay for you to go to Antarctica.
Will Duffy.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's his point. Will Duffy's called our bluff, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Bastard. What an intelligent pastor he is. Here we've been all these years hiding the fact that we knew if there was or wasn't a sun, something that's not been observed, something that's been actually denied. Yeah, we've been on this grift of ridicule for 10 years, people pissing down our backs. Yeah. No, trying to hide the fact that this is abhorrent, JLB. Yeah. This is ignorant now. Or has its own motivation.
Yeah, we already went over that. He's a retard.
I knew the flat earth was just saying,
well, that's not a motivation.
Oh, I don't care about his motivation. He's just retarded. He's making an ass out of himself now.
That level would demonstrate how easy he is to manipulate, which is becoming apparent. Because look at him. Who's he grifting for here?
Don't know.
There he is. Look, he's got his buddy back up on screen, look, with an emoji of a look at the ad hom in what he's put on screen.
Sure.
Yeah. There's your woke Todd. Yeah, what people with an azimuthal equidistant projection of a ball
of a
on
globe.
his t-shirt.
Yeah.
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 Fuck Todd.
Do you notice the way his caricature looks like Fight the Flat Earth?
Yes. Go ahead, Fletcher.
They should have animated like a straw man out in the field.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is a straw man.
Well, it's hilarious that he's got a flat earther with a globe earth projection on it. That is truly hilarious. I'll bet you John doesn't even know that.
That's the point. That shows his understanding, doesn't it?
Yep. Yep.
Our proof of a flat earth doesn't matter anymore, actually. No. So it went from
Proof of flat Earth where?
No midnight sun in Antarctica. That's a proof of flat Earth.
No, it's not. Can you explain that logically to us? Or is this empirical proof? Which one is it? Clown.
And now that there is going to be
Who's on screen? Who's on screen? Told you. It'll be some question proof where the fact there's no Antarctic 24-hour sun, says Dave Weiss, as Flat Earth Dave, is therefore a flat Earth proof. That's what this is where this originates. Is on screen now.
Yep.
Duh. That's Flat Earth Dave by his former name.
Yep. He's not a flat earther, by the way, JLB. He's a true earther.
What's he defending? Whether he was really misquoted or not, what's he defending? What is Flat Earth Dave talking about to be misquoted about? What flat Earth proof, perchance, would you be talking about to have the accusation of misquotation, Mr. Flat Earth Dave? Why? It be if the plain flight of proof, the one that none of us use, that one. Only you bullshitters on TikTok use.
Yep.
The midnight sun in Antarctica, which these people know full well. They know full well that's going to happen. Now, it's actually
they know full well what's going to happen. Then why are they going down there? Oh, interesting.
You know what this is, Kiwi? This final experiment nonsense. What this is it's allowing people like JLB who've wanted to be a glober and wanted to be on the globe all those years. They think now they have it in their own heads that there will be a 24-hour Antarctic sun and that somehow will prove a globe, and they can walk away from all this flat Earth stuff and get away from flat earthers and all the rest of it. They think this is definitely going to happen. So there's a lot of people like him who are starting to just come out of the woodwork. Who were kind of, I'm flat, flat Earth, this flat Earth, that, flat Earth, that, flat Earth, the other thing. Suddenly this turns up, globe, 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 globe. Because they never wanted to be anywhere near flat Earth. They just couldn't deal with it. There was no way around it. Now they think they have a way to deal with it. So people like him are coming out of the woodwork for what they truly are.
Yep. I love it too. Can't wait till December.
Actually,
I'm not going.
What?
Imagine a world, and I know it's a little bit fluffy. Imagine a world where
super fiber, super shut up, Adam.
Where super chats was super fluid.
Roger Ludwell said, "I'm still a flat earther and dang proud of it."
That's it. That's right, Roger. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Adam.
I know, like I said, a little bit of fantasy, but imagine a world where the point that Durf was making when he said to JLB misquoted me about plane flight. I was referring to the pitch data.
Imagine that world.
What a fluffy, lovely world.
Yep, that doesn't exist. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, because if they were, they demonstrate that they're flat earthers taking up solid proofs.
Yep.
Instead, when they don't, they demonstrate they're on a grift. Nathan said it earlier. That what's their why? Why do that? To perpetuate this point.
Yes.
This self-ingratiation. I'm important in this realm. Once it's solved, flat Earth Dave's just Dave, isn't he? Because the Earth's flat.
Yeah.
Dave.
Correct. Simple. Go
I
ahead.
have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there a minimum requirement of people that have to go on this trip?
I don't know.
I think there is. I think there is for the actual trip itself, for the plane flight and the boat. I think there is a minimum. They have to come up with 16 or something like that.
Yeah, so if there's not enough people to go, then it'll probably be canceled.
The good pastor, based on his knowledge here, has already got a conservatory and extension to the back of his house plan. So I think the number that's necessary is about 5 or 8. That should just about suffice for his grift.
We don't want that to happen.
You're alluding to the deal he's done with the company, so that his 15 grand ticket that you could buy from the company is being sold for 30.
Yeah. We don't want that to happen Flatsy. I can't wait till December. Tell you that much.
You want it to happen.
I do. Oh,
I do too.
I'm yearning for it to happen. Absolutely yearning for it. Pining
But there's-
heavily.
If that minimum requirement can be addressed, we can know whether or not it's actually even possible or possibly going to happen, I would say.
Look, there's certain things I can't wait. I know it is
So it went
Christmas,
from being-
but outside of their observation, which may or may not happen, I'm confident it will. Yeah, but we know it's not an antipodal viewpoint because of the pitch data. So I sit here and it's not often I'm smug. I'll tell you all now, you bastards. Told you, Chinook Sun System.
Adam, I actually have like some good that could come out of this if they stop focusing on the sky. I think that in Antarctica you can see a lot further because the air is clearer, you know. So actually they should do long distance observations if they can.
Less curvature.
Oh boy.
Now,
So plenty good come out of it.
The lights in the sky.
There's going to be plenty good come out of this, Flatsy. Don't you worry. Just wait. We'll point it out to you when it happens.
Which these people know full well. They know full well that's going to happen. Now, it's, well, actually, the lights in the sky in Antarctica don't matter anymore. So it went from...
What kind of hat has he got on? I want to ad hom him. Is this like an Elmer Fudd hunting hat? Did you say him? Let's turn it. I can't. Yeah, it is. It's got little flaps.
I love those hats.
You would. Oh,
Booger looks so dang cute in them too. So
Now that there is going to be a midnight sun in Antarctica, which these people know full well. They know full well that's going to happen. Now, it's, well, actually, the lights in the sky in Antarctica don't matter anymore.
Whoa. That's really important. Genuinely, right? Honestly, I haven't got a fucking Scooby-Doo, right? Whether I'll see penguins sunbathing at midnight. Yeah? I've not invested any time in that curiosity. Yeah? But I've got to be honest with you. No, I'm not here holding a position, JLB, knowing that I'm going to see penguins sunbathing and trying to deceive people. No. To the best of my knowledge, since you joined this arena, nobody's presented evidence other than fake shit that's been shown to be fake to support the position that penguins can sunbathe at midnight. Yeah. Now, that's all I've got because I'm just a pleb, like very, very far away with inability to actually go and verify it myself. But it's an argument that's pre-existed. To pretend that it's something to do with our argument after 10 years is very frustrating, dude. Yeah, it's not part of our argument.
Well,
It's not related to our argument. You're a shithouse as you keep trying to hold us to this point, which has nothing to do with where we are in 2024.
Thank you, Adam. But I do have to shout you out with this penguin sunbathing at midnight thing. Every time I hear it, it tickles me. I really
That's
like
your
that
proof.
characterization.
What's black and white and red all over? Sunbathing penguin.
A nun falling down the stairs.
None in a blender.
Not in a blender, my word.
What's that got to do with you? Don't give me your non sequitur answers. We're talking penguins.
A nun in a blender
penguin.
is too violent. Falling down the stairs, she could have a broken nose. Blood comes out. That makes sense.
All right, let's move on.
So it went from being a proof when they thought there was no midnight sun, they never get their bluff called. They could just get away with that. Now it's, well, it doesn't matter anymore. So it's gone from a proof.
It never mattered to begin with.
So the lack of a midnight sun, in their opinion, proof of a flat Earth. Oh, there is a midnight sun. Well, in that case, it doesn't matter. Now, how did I know that would happen?
In that case, is another sentence fragment. You didn't finish your thought there, John LeBon. Are you illiterate?
Folks, you might be wondering, how
What
did
an
JLB know that
interesting
this was...
fragment thought that
What?
you've got. Again, realistically, in the little world we're in, this goes to Nathan, okay?
Does it?
And what we, yeah, Yeah. What did we do with nobody? As I said earlier, nobody knows. Okay. Now, the little bit of information we could glean was from the testimony of an individual. Now, either he was a wanker lying to Nathan, yeah, pissing down his back, which we're all very used to by now, particularly, or it was just a genuine man, and that was his testimony. And that's actually all we plebby flat earthers have got to go on. We can't go and evaluate this ourselves, yeah. So we have to go on what the paradigm gives us, and that's what was presented then and now, and it's still the same paradigm of the world. Otherwise, Will Duffy's trip would be for naught, wouldn't it? He holds the same position. I haven't got a fucking Scooby-Doo whether I'm going to see sunbathing penguins or not. That's what I'm off to see.
Sunbathing penguins, man. That's perfect.
What happened? Well, the same thing happened back in 2015-16 with the flights in the southern hemisphere. Let me show you some evidence of what I'm saying.
Okay.
This is, like I said, from
with the flats in the southern hemisphere. Isn't that begging the question fallacy too? But okay.
2015-16. This is Flat Earth Dave, who at the time was known as Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, DITRH.
So, a year ago, we started this crusade attacking Flat Earth Dave. And people say, why are you being cunts? You're just being horrible. You are. You're just being horrible. No, why are you doing that? No need. We should be a community. This is why. Because now, a year later, his nonsensical gibberish is going to be used in evidence to people that don't know any better to prove that we're all retards.
Yep. That's twisted. You conspiratard, you.
David Weiss. This is him being caught out in one of these same little attempts at sleight of hand and memory holing. Take a look at this. He said that I misquoted him. Because I said that he said the flights prove that the Earth isn't flat.
The leading flat Earth proponent, David Weiss, is on public record as stating...
Pause!
Yeah, is this him back in the day?
Pause! You can see it. Bring your cursor in. Move around that lip line. What colour is that, Flatsy?
Some people that aren't gingers have red in their beard.
What? I didn't say that. What colour is... I didn't say what's under the hat he's hiding to confirm his gingerness. I said what colour is what you can see. From your objective reality, what do you see? Ginge or not ginge?
Ginge.
Not ginge. And my goodness, I don't want to keep saying that because
ginge. Look at the eyebrows.
Don't forget that booger. Don't forget that booger has copper-colored hair, dude.
I didn't say that. Are you going to let him grow dreadlocks and be dirty?
I don't know, man. Who? That doesn't matter to me.
It should.
Let's let old John LeBon speak. I'd like to hear this.
Him. Because I said that he said the flights prove that the Earth isn't flat.
The leading flat Earth proponent, David Weiss, is on public record as stating that if it could be proved that direct flights from Australia to South America exist, it would, and I quote, prove the Earth is a ball.
Well, you might have that, but he's a true earther. Yeah. This is nonsense to begin with, anyway. Number one.
Now, what's the?
Oh God! You just shut the hell up.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit spunky, aren't I? Sorry.
Yeah, this isn't the Adam Meakin show. Do you think that I can?
Is it not?
Do you think that maybe I can deal with this topic a little bit myself?
I know, that's what I said. I'm getting a little bit spunky. It's so frustrating, right? There's another point there I want to make, and I know you've got three others that won't be the same point because it's just so frustrating. So I recognise my spunkiness, Your Honour. I yield.
You yield, huh? Number one, you idiot. As soon as you mentioned flights, welcome to Flat Earth. Not flying from here to there or anywhere. Number two, this idiot model. This is a globe projection, you moron. Don't you understand that? So he just destroyed the globe projection. Number three, I think I already said this. He's a he's not a flat earther. Go ahead, Adam.
I think I'm going to need a J. I was frantically trying to remember what my point of interjection was.
Got it. I gave you a full J.
On public record as stating that if it could be proved that direct flights from Australia to South America exist, it would, and I quote, prove the Earth is a ball.
A great way to prove.
Oh, he's gonna. Okay, let's hear it.
Prove.
No, I'm back in the room.
Yeah, we're gonna listen to Dave say it
before we. Right, that's the point. Who is being cited here, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah,
for you flat earthers.
Flat earther.
Yep.
A flat earther.
A flat earther, you think?
Flat Earth Dave. Flat Earth Dave.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dave, who's flat Earth, nonetheless.
Oh wait. That's a quote by Dave.
Yeah.
I the point know. Is my point is.
Oh shit.
It's the point that us flat earthers in 2024 are going to be held to the horse shit that fell out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead, Nathan.
I missed that. That's just. Yeah.
Nathan, do you have something to say before we read this? Before John reads this out?
Confirming everything that I've said, which is to say that Dave holds up these stereotypes for us to fall victim to, and he's been doing it forever, and it's just abundantly clear now. Here he is saying, well, if the globe could show this, it's like laying down the foundations for globers to go, okay, well, if we show you that then the flat earther says that proves the globe. It's like Jaron going out. It's all these people seem to lay the foundations for globers to debunk flat earthers.
Yep.
And in this particular statement, Dave Weiss is saying, well, if the globe could just offer this, it's like, oh, that's the end of it then. No, but why are we having this? If you want to control the opposition, lead it.
Ah, good point.
It. I want 3 words. I want 3 words. Tiger fucking Dan.
Yeah. He was out here when I first got out here too. Yeah. Tiger Dan. We won't get into that. Let's go back. I want to listen. Let's listen to this in full.
Prove the Earth is a ball.
A great way to prove that the Earth is not a ball, or the Earth is a ball, is to take a trip from the tip of Africa, or better yet, South America, to Australia or New Zealand, and see if it takes 12 hours or the amount of time it should take if the Earth was a ball.
Crush the flat Earth model.
It would.
I've actually took wine down the wrong hole as that fuck. Give me a J.
Get your holes squared away.
It should take if the Earth was a ball.
Crush the flat Earth model.
Do you want me to go back further?
I just want to hear that. And I literally choked. I inhaled whilst I was sipping because of what he was saying. So I've kind of lost the point.
All right, I'll give you a full. I didn't give you a full J though. Here we go.
To Australia or New Zealand, and see
let's get another one. I want to listen to the whole thing.
Trip from the tip of Africa, or better yet,
it's still not there. Hold on. Let's start it over from the beginning. Here we go.
A great way to prove that the Earth is not a ball, or the Earth is a ball, is to take a trip from the tip of Africa, or better yet, South America, to Australia or New Zealand, and see if it takes 12 hours or the amount of time it should take if the Earth was a ball.
Crush the flat Earth model.
That's not the flat Earth model. That's a globe projection. It just crushed the globe projection, you utter moron. I mean, besides the fact of this train wreck statement from non-flat Earth Dave, he's a two-ofa. Other than that, you got everything right. What a clown. You're a clown, JLB. Thank you for demonstrating it for everyone. Although you're proud of yourself. You unwittingly exposed yourself as a clown right there, besides the David Weiss train wreck.
That's the issue. Yeah, he is, right? But look at what us flat earthers have got to shuffle through now. That statement from 2015, which is disingenuous from JLB to be. There's lots more shit that David Weiss has spoke, post 2020 that you could hold him to. That's fucking nonsense. That would make a really ridicule of flat Earth. However, in this one, this is particularly brilliant, isn't it? Because we all know, right? If you take a trip from Africa, or you know what? Better yet, South Africa to Australia or New Zealand, that's fucking miles away from Australia, and see if it takes 12 hours or the amount of time it should take. So why I said 12 hours, I don't know. If the Earth is a ball, because we all know that the trip from Africa, or better yet, South America to Australia or New Zealand, the time that trip takes will prove whether or not we're on is a ball or flat.
Yeah. He's a moron. Dave's a moron, and so is John LeBon.
I want to make a mitigation for here, because I said Dave Weiss 2015. Yeah, I'd have said something that's freaking stupid, which is why I said he could have just as picked Justice Thing from last week, to be honest, which is the point of issue with Dave Weiss and this kind of nonsensical belief-based foundation.
Yep. Adam, you sell yourself short. You would, I think you sell yourself. You would have never said something this stupid back then.
I don't know, because I didn't know shit.
Yeah, that's why you would never have said it.
I thought I was. Yeah, maybe. Thank you. That's kind.
Yes.
I'll be proven wrong.
Too funny. Anyone else got any comment on this little fiasco from David Weiss? We'll move on.
Time it should take.
I don't think he'd like what I have to say.
Crush the flat Earth.
I would, Brian.
I've experienced David Weiss do really stupid stuff, but I've also experienced him being very clever. Now, I don't see how someone, the same with Jaron Campanella, I don't see how these two individuals can show themselves to have an above than average intellect in some of the things they're able to figure out and speak about, and then go and do really stupid stuff. Those two just don't gel for me. I do not trust it. And I've spoken about this in the past.
Fair enough.
No. Yeah.
Model.
It would add a lot.
Shut up, Adam.
No, because that's why we're here. That's why we're actually going to spend it. I know we got excited by the internet speed, and then I brought this up and we've done it. But that's why we're here, because outside of Jaron, yeah, and flat Earth, meat hooks out, Dave, and JLB, this is what's pissing us off. Us people that have spent time investigating this and actually present arguments that are, at least are worthy of rebuttal, instead of the shit that's been strawmanned in front of me right now, as that's why we've wasted 10 years of our lives here. Yeah, because
can I say a quick comment?
Yeah.
I mean,
you might have a ZZ Top period after before you're able to.
No, because being in my new moderator role, I recognise that I get plenty of opportunity, so I'm happy to succeed to. Is it almost
exactly? Yeah,
almost exactly. Off you go, dude.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, ignorance is bliss. I'm not gonna get into intent, because intent is like, I can't say someone's intent, but I think they're just not getting it at this point.
Who's not getting
it's
what?
It's not like blatant lie.
Who's not?
Jaron, for example, the person we're watching right now, they're actually just ignorant.
Fair enough.
Okay. Shut up, Adam.
A lot of questions.
I highly doubt that.
Oh boy.
Brian, you're the conspirator. You said that Adam was. That's Brian.
Flatsy, I've been around. No, I'm not trying to be big myself up here, but I'm here since 2015. I've heard both David Weiss and Jaron, more Jaron, but also David Weiss, speak about things that will require you and figure things out that would require someone to have an above average intellect. and then come out with stuff that only someone who's as thick as a plank will come out with. It makes no sense. Now, David Weiss might have
Yeah,
said
but
that.
Brian, you're measuring that above average according to your intellect. Like you're kind of projecting your brilliant mind onto someone like Jaren, who has no fucking brains.
I'm going to moderate. I want this debate to go on. No, first of all, that's not what Brian said. Brian rebut, because I disagree with the rebuttal. So, Brian, take it on. This is a good. This is interesting. So, please.
What I said was that
let me finish, because it's my new modding role. I got powers. I can shut you up, Brian. Watch this if I have to. Yeah. I want this to go. So if everyone would just let this go, because this is important. What is going off here? The accusation Brian's making shouldn't be brushed away, in my opinion. And I know that's not moddy, but you two guys, please just argue this point.
What I said was that I've witnessed Jaron Campanella and David Weiss speak about topics in a way that would work and figure things out live, that like, or at least have done it in the background before they came in, and to understand what they're speaking about. That would require someone to not be a dummy. Let's just put it that way. You can't be a dummy and go through these things the way they have done it and figure them out. And then sometimes
I can agree,
complete
Brian.
dummies. It doesn't make any sense. For someone, you can't be smart one day and a dummy the next. That just, to me, makes no sense.
No, I agree with you. I mean, that's because you're looking through that lens, that you're seeing these situations that way. I'm just saying they are that thick that something can go above their heads, but still be keeping up in the argument to a sense that you would say, oh, they do have brains. I mean, they're figuring this out. They must figure this and this or the other thing out. You know what I mean? But I think you're just giving them too much credit because of your own intellect that you're trying to project on them. You're a smart person. You figured it out. I don't think it's even about being smart more than being objective, if anything. I don't know.
Well, I appreciate the compliment, but I'll put it this way. Some of my family members are pretty sharp people. And they were always able to understand certain things without having to really learn about them. They just understood them. They logically could figure things out. Now, if one of them tomorrow turned up being a dummy at my house, being stupid, do you think that I would accept that? No. I'd call him out for being dishonest. And so I can't, like, put someone you know in your life personally, whether it be a relative, a friend that you know has an intellect up to a certain point. Now, place them tomorrow doing something that would involve them not having that level of intellect, and see if that works. If that works for you in your own mind.
All right, this is.
I see it. Hold
on. Yeah, wait a second. Yeah, these are vague examples. Can you, Brian, to prove your case, you're going to have to state something at average intellect that Jaron Campanella, Hanoi Jaron, and David Weiss, non-flat Earth Dave, have said. One.
Do you want me to give you specific instances?
Yeah.
No,
I don't want you to. Shut up, Adam. Stop co-hosting. This is my point. Now, I don't want you to do it now. I want you to have something for me on Saturday because it's unfair to ask at this juncture. So something Saturday.
Well, I can give it to you now.
Okay.
Yeah, I can give it to you now. Jaron Campanella was able to detail and fully understand what Samuel Rowbotham wrote about how he actually won out in the Bedford Levels demonstration with the Surveyor Wallace, the part that the history leaves out. He was able to fully understand, and what it was what we term as optical drop, right? That's what it was that Rowbotham won that on. That was given the judgment by the judge on that.
Okay.
Now, he fully understood that That's just one instance. He fully understood that, was able to detail it out to an audience, like with ease. Now there was many other instances, but just with ease, right? David Weiss, just only recently, was able to comment on my presentation on flat sides. He fully understood the presentation.
How did he show that?
Fully. Well, he understood. From his comment underneath, he understood what was going on there.
No. He gave you kudos. That doesn't mean he understood it. And this Bedford level bullshit, that doesn't take a rocket surgeon to figure that out.
It wasn't that. It wasn't the Bedford levels. It was optical drop.
Oh, you're talking about the optical drop part.
Because that's what won it for Robotham, the thing that history leaves out. Jerome Campanello fully understood that and was able to detail it and describe it exactly. He knew exactly what it was being spoken about. Even David Weiss was on flat sides, let's just say the night after or whatever. He didn't mention the presentation, the flight presentation, but he spoke about stuff to do with using planes for satellites. Now, in fairness, I've brought that up myself. But the point is that he's able to go into topics where it would require someone to have an intellect of some kind, right? And then the next day he'll do something idiotic. That doesn't work with me.
I have a hard time. All right. It's a nothing. It's a nothing.
I appreciate you're like jumping in QE, like but yeah, it doesn't add up to anything. I mean, my brother, for example, I would classify him, like my younger brother, as a smart dude who's maybe even smarter than I am, right? But this is someone who rejects the flat Earth completely. He can't even grasp it, but he's smart as fuck. He's an engineer. He's like intellect. I don't think is a measure of the position on this subject. Like I don't see why someone's intellect, if they're intellectual, therefore they must get the flat Earth. I don't get that argument. If that's what your argument is, I don't want to misrepresent it.
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that almost exactly, you are exactly correct. It's called the curse of knowledge bias. So it's a bias that you have to be able to objectively see yourself having. So you have to be able to exit out of your argument or whatever argument you're looking into. You can't have your bias. So I agree with you. It's not really about whether or not somebody has the intellect to get it or not. It's whether or not they take the time to do the due diligence to look into it.
Damn, listen to Flatsy. That's why she's a ball buster, folks. All right, can we continue?
But that's a non sequitur.
Not
a non sequitur.
Not what the whole it is.
Right, I'm moderating it.
And he could shut you up.
And genuinely I could, but I'd just be so bitter. And I agree with what, because it's the accusation I've thrown at JLB. Yeah, this is just if after you, I like the analogy Brian used. Okay, you've engaged with somebody. Now we have engaged with somebody, be it Flat Earth, Dave, JLB, whatever, or even Witzer. Now, and there's a level of intellect that they've demonstrated to you. Now, what's not reasonable to me is to go, you know what? Even though they've shown that they're so stupid, or they can figure this out, that suddenly now that my mitigation for them is that they're just retarded. Yeah. And Brian's analogy is to the point that, you know, the guy that we were talking about, how you should sort out your VHS recorder, do this, tune it like this, or like with Nathan, do this to your PC, turn up the gain or whatever. Yeah. Suddenly comes around to you and goes, Brian, can you help me tie my shoelaces? Because I just a bit thick, I keep tripping over them. And that's the reality of what these guys who have demonstrated a level of intellect that is sufficient to deal with the arguments that are in front of them to come back and go, I can't tie my shoelaces no more.
Can they show?
Yeah, it's.
Can they
Sorry,
show
sorry.
penguins sunbathing in Antarctica at midnight?
If I see sunbathing penguins, then I know it's a ball.
All right,
don't
all
I?
right. We beat this up. Brian made his point. We don't need to hear it again. We got it. Let's move on.
It's a ball.
Crush the flat Earth model.
There is no flat Earth model, and there's no globe Earth model either.
It would add a lot of questions for sure, if not crush the flat Earth model.
Yeah, there's Dave. He thinks there's a flat Earth model. Unbelievable.
Holy shit, how ginger is that beard?
What's that? How did you talk about that ginger beard again?
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
I just want to validate to Flatsy. It's about my ability to use infrared, yeah, or see, look, like night vision. Night vision, I can spot a ginger. That's all I'm saying.
You wouldn't be able to tell that my baby's if it was like a black and white picture, because he has no freckles, but he still has the color hair of a brand new penny. Okay.
Then he's lost part of the prophecy. I think ginger revert. There's a reason gingers are allowed to be attacked. It's because there's a bloodline there that is from Christ.
We have Jadu.
There you go.
You got a super Jadu.
That was good. Good job, Booger. He's already trying to read it. Okay, watching a 24-hour sun by the time you set up, or by the time you set up, watch the sun arc in, then arc out of its 24 hours. You would have to be awake for over 30 hours. Thanks, Jadu.
Can we read that again?
Yeah, read that one more time.
I think that there was a typo and it kind of made me stumble. Sorry about that. Watching a 24-hour sun, by the time you set up, watch the sun arc in, then arc out of its 24 hours, you would have to be awake for over 30 hours.
Yeah, but
that's why they make
could do
cocaine.
time lapses and all this kind of thing. So
Oh
yeah,
my
cocaine,
goodness.
whatever. Yeah, there's ways around it.
You're going to need
just like to
shrooms
say-
for that.
You're gonna need
Disclaimer, the Ballbusters do not condone any. Yeah, let's get it out there. We don't condone this behavior.
That's why 24 of them is going. That's why 24 of them is going to change every hour.
For something to take 30 hours that only takes 24, it's going to require at least some mild psilocybin, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 6 hours of psilocybin.
Yeah, that'd do it.
Good, Jadu, thanks for the super chat, man. Can we get
on this comment on the screen, yeah, right now. This comment from David Weiss. That's from the 11th of June, 2015. So I would have to give him a bit of grace there. Well, it's 2015. He can make a stupid statement, but the problem is he's making statements just as stupid all the way through. He's still making it. He hasn't learned. Like, anyone could have made that statement back in 2015 because I remember there was no 24-hour. There was no flights that you could actually find proper evidence for.
I would never have said that. I would never have said that because I immediately knew.
I didn't point the finger at you. I said I'd give anyone a bit of grace if they said something like that back then.
I would
Right?
not. I would not.
Well, at the time, there was. I remember people trying to book flights that were supposedly going from Australia to South America, and the flights kept on getting cancelled and all the other stuff. There was no way at the time. No one was able to prove these flights were taking place. Now afterwards they took place, but at the time, I remember independent people who weren't David Weiss or anyone were not able to. They were booking them and getting them cancelled, or they were trying to book them and they weren't allowed to pay for them. All this nonsense was going on at the time. So if someone thought at the time that you can't get a flight from there, and if you could, it should take this length of time, whatever. I don't understand. You're brand new. You may not know anything. People do that.
Then you should shut up. If you're David Weiss, if you're David Weiss at this, I don't know what his stat. I didn't even know David.
Oh,
Weiss.
not me. Him. Sorry, I thought you were telling me to shut up.
No.
I said I haven't finished my point.
No. No, you just shut the hell up.
Yes, I agree. After that point, you should shut up. Yeah.
If you don't know it, and you're David Weiss back then, I didn't know David Weiss back then. I didn't even know he existed. But apparently, he was some type of figure back then. He was never a figure to me in Flat Earth until 2020 or something, right? But that's besides the point. How could you say that this is pure ignorance? Just pure ignorance.
This is
Tiger Dan, not intellect. Not pure intellect, pure ignorance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is he'll still make statements like are just as bad as that today and be proven wrong on it. So he's not learning all the way through, yet in between those times he's able to fully understand complex.
I don't know. We're back to that complex thing.
He's not.
I don't.
Yeah, he's not able. That's the whole point. He's not able to see the complexity of the argument.
No,
it just goes over his head. I mean, that's my
now,
understanding of it versus yours.
Brian's stance is Brian's a conspiratard, right? He thinks that David Weiss, according to his little theories here, is doing this purposely. Now, can I disprove that? No, but it's conjecture. I just think they're dumbasses. Now, could I be wrong?
Exactly.
I could be wrong.
I think you're spot on.
I could be wrong about that. Right?
I agree.
Of course.
I say he's pretty dumb. Like here's the thing. Here's what happens.
Here we go. Hi, hello, Elijah. You just pop in.
Hello. Evening, Eli.
Oh, Bob Hope uninvited. Like, just pop right in.
Well, that's my style. I mean, if not that, I don't do anything else.
Yeah, but you know, our style is to say good evening, bro. You're right, Eli.
Good evening, good morning, good night. And all that stuff.
I'm sorry. Did I throw you off your point? Go ahead.
No, what I think is with them and like with most people, like they're too prideful. Sometimes you're in too deep. Like bro had people like program this app. he's in too deep. He's linked this concept to the app. Other people have put their faith in him. He has reasons not to get our point. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair enough, and that lines up with what Brian's attempting to put it. So I can see that.
It's still ignorance, whether it be voluntary or not. It is a form of ignorance.
So
I mean, that's what we're agreeing on, right?
Yeah, but he's too pot committed to the grift, which is further indictment. If I think that, then I'm lined with Brian. So
this is still unfair. This is still unfair because look at the citation. It's 11th of June 2015.
Yeah.
Right? So when I alluded to Tiger Dan earlier, this is the Tiger Dan point. Oh, look. Would shatter the flat Earth explanation Australia to South America flights. If a chain has a broken link, it's if we can show. This is why Tiger Dan left the community.
Yeah.
And if he were there in 2015, he was one of the few guys that were out there doing stuff that was educating you. And he came to this point.
Yep.
And because he couldn't disprove the flights, he just magically disappeared. So
yep.
I don't hold David Weiss to anything he said in 2015. That's shithousery. Yeah. I hold David Weiss to account for what he said from 2022 onwards. And
fair enough.
Particularly, yeah.
Fair enough.
And that I could just as easily be there. Yeah, that's.
I would
fair.
never. I would never. I would.
You
never
wouldn't, because
no.
you've got another 6 months before you pop up.
Yeah, but Brian, aren't you like subjecting him to your ideology? Like he should be following what you think at this point.
Well, no, the standard is not me. I mean, I can't judge him off of me. I can't judge my intellect with someone else's. I'm only judging him by what he has displayed himself.
Sure.
That's all I was judging.
That's okay. Yeah. That's cool. All right. We got.
Before we move on, QE, because
let's move on.
The arguments become disconnected. Remember what's happening here, and the reason I defended David Weiss is because JLB is citing David Weiss from 2015 to hold you guys to a position.
Sure.
Press play.
Yes, we got that. Good point, Adam. Way to get us back on track. Yes.
The flat Earth, explanation
and change everything.
But if we can just show that you can make that flight, that would change everything.
Because there are no shortcuts on a flat Earth.
Because there are no shortcuts on a flat Earth.
And the flights would be
What's up,
impossible
fellas?
on a flat Earth.
And it would be impossible on a flat Earth if that's the case.
QE, on an azimuthal equidistant projection of a globe, are there any shortcuts?
Of the globe projection that they just destroyed.
Yeah, there are no shortcuts. There is an ice wall on an azimuthal equidistant projection from a globe.
Yep.
Yeah, it's globe against globe, but still, I think it's more about direction than anything.
Direction. Well, who we got here?
Almost exactly.
Not quite exactly.
Exactly, oxymoron. Almost exactly.
Thanks.
And it
That's
would
the
be
point.
impossible.
Yeah.
So that was Dave. So this is back before people were certain that the flights exist.
This was back before there. Let me get what? Huh? That there are flats.
Right. So that statement is before John Travolta flew a New Zealand Airways flight or whatever it was from New Zealand to whatever that would therefore prove a globe. Do you remember that time? Yeah, this was part of the mainstream pimped this out. So this was part of the these flight routes exist. And what they did to demonstrate it was real was that John fucking Travolta fly that plane.
Really? It's faint. My faint memory. Yeah.
The quote Pulp Fiction. Whew, that was fucking trippy, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, that's way back there. Okay.
So that was Dave. So this is back before people were certain that the flights exist.
Oh, that the flights exist. Okay, gotcha. I thought he said flats.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Which is why to prove the flights exist, what you do is you put in the mainstream media that John Travolta has got his pilot sign for a 747 and he's flown this flight. So you like normal people, right? What's proof? Fucking John Travolta, baby.
Yeah, John Travolta debunked the globe Earth projection. Great, thanks a lot. Appreciate that, JLB.
No swearing.
This is back before anybody from this so-called community had taken a flight from Australia to South America or vice versa.
Who really cares? I mean, you can't take a flight on a globetard, John. Flight data? Yeah, that's coming to your doorstep soon.
That's gonna hurt, isn't it?
It's
That's really gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt bad.
So it started off back in 2015. They had.
I think it's gonna leave a permanent mark too.
You think John Travolta's got his own pitch data?
I don't think so. No.
One of them was there's no
Brian. Right,
Jeez,
no, wait,
man,
serious
dude.
question. Right, yeah, but can Brian get in touch with John Travolta and get his pitch data for his transatlantic flight that proves a ball?
I doubt John Travolta would speak to me, Adam.
I'd speak to you.
I know you would.
How does any flight?
You could shut him
any
up.
flight
Travolta
prove a
strikes me
ball?
as a reasonable man.
Yeah, you could shut him up too.
No, I'm chatting shit. Go on, almost.
No, my question was, how does any flight prove a ball?
It doesn't.
No,
if you take a flight,
every flight disproves a ball. That's
Exactly.
our point.
Thank you.
Antarctic sun. The other one was that you can't fly between the southern continents.
no, you can't fly at all on a globetard, John LeBon. You're an ass clown. It's all over
What
for you.
the actual screwballing shithousery is going on?
Who knows?
Flat Earthers claim you cannot fly between the southern continents.
I
Anyone? Anyone claim that?
I never. I've never.
Draw man.
Flat, see?
No,
Sounds like one of yours.
Sorry, I missed it. What happened?
To prove a flat Earth, right? It's a prerequisite that you wouldn't be able to fly between any of the southern continents. Correct or not correct?
Flying in the southern continents.
Not
Proving
in. You're not flying
on.
in the southern continent, Flatsy.
Over the southern continent.
Not over them either. Between them, for God's sake.
It's all the same sack of shit.
I don't know. I wasn't following.
No,
I got distracted.
no.
Southern flight's impossible on a flat Earth.
Yeah, shut up, Adam. We're gonna revoke your friggin' charter.
I'm not even.
I'm not even used South America are fake.
Nathan's
I don't think
right.
he has a charter even.
He's got a co-host charter. He thinks he's a moderator now. I'm gonna remove that sucker. You don't shut up.
I was only agreeing. I said you're right, but Nathan's correct. I've not even used the power. It's just the sheer knowledge that I hold the force is sufficient.
Did Nathan skip out? Did he take his metronidazole or whatever it was?
I don't know. Where have you put those tablets?
I'm still here.
Okay.
He could have put them in his ears. You see, that's what I was wondering.
Is it now? What is that, Adam? I'm unfamiliar with that pain medication. Is that a goodie?
Yeah, instead of being the broad spectrum, like I said, with regards to amoxicillin, it's what's called specific. It deals with anaerobic bacteria, so shit that can exist within the gums. It doesn't need oxygen to replicate.
Yeah, I know what anaerobes mean. I'm talking about pain medication.
I wasn't talking to you, was I? Okay. Just doing a bit of a Brian.
What about, has he got any pain medication? That's the important point here.
I've sent him a bag of crack, and if he's not using it, it's his own fault.
Fair enough. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Disclaimer.
Yep.
The things that people say is not actually the view that the whole Ballbusters hold.
You would hope so, with me being a qualified pharmacist, that would be interpreted as satirical and comedy.
You would hope, but she
Disclaimer.
wanted to take the surface puke and indict you.
All right, then. Hopefully he's taking ibuprofen 400 milligrams 3 times a day. Paracetamol, either with or without opioids, 4 times a day. I mean, may use cocodamol in that case. May want to add opioids in with the ibuprofen, which you can do now.
Shut up. Just take a
break. However, we do not provide any medical advice. If you are in any doubt with your dental pain, please consult a qualified medical physician.
That sounds better.
That does sound better. Thank you.
Or QE.
Or QE. Thanks for that
held
caveat.
the same title as a qualified medical
He's
physician,
just
like my
butthurt.
goddamn self.
You just butthurt because I slammed the door on you last night, both you and Nathan.
Those were proofs of flat Earth. Then when someone did take the flight, someone who they trust, it was Max Egan, it went from there's no southern flight.
I do remember Max Egan doing it. I do remember that.
Hang on a moment.
Say again?
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to add in before he goes further. For a start, I am a flat earther, and I have been since 2015. And no, I do not support in any way or trust Max Egan. I spoke to Max Egan through comment on his YouTube, on one of his YouTube videos years ago, and I was banned off his channel immediately because I called him out on rubbish. So no, I don't trust him. But he did do that, and he showed that the compass directions that he took and what directions they said the flight was taking did not match, and the compass directions matched what would be a flat plane, not a ball.
Back in the day, Brian, we on Iron Realm, and I was involved in the interview, interviewed Max Egan on that exact point. So a little like when D Marble took a spirit level on, he took it and he's using his compass to say it's not matching with what's being demonstrated on screen. God, that's a long time ago. I remember, interview, right? Yeah, it's not a point. All he's demonstrating that again, and this is what we came to earlier. All we're doing here is demonstrating whether or or not the ball model holds. And if my rebuttal to the ball model isn't sufficient and somebody can bullshit it out, then it's still a ball. No, that was 2015. This is 2024. We know for sure and without a doubt the Earth is measured, navigated, aviated, surveyed in some people's opinions. Yeah, flat. It is flat, right? That's our message. Not, it's not a ball. 2024.
Yes, sir. That we're done with the video, by the way. We're going a little bit long in the tooth here. I just want to let everyone know I'm looking at my dropped frames over almost 3.5 hours. 0.0%.
Whoa.
You know,
Nice.
it's the end when the big jugs come out.
Yeah, because I feel the need for speed, baby. That's right. Now, we didn't cover the video because Adam had to screw this thing all up and bring John LeBon. You got to have a JLB if you want to be with me. I think I did that the first video I seen of him, right? I was doing it in here on my own. But anyway, I digress. We didn't get to what's it, but we will Saturday on BALLBUSTERS at 2 p.m. U.S. Central, 8 p.m. UK, and whatever it is in Australia. So we will definitely listen. I told you we're gonna go through it painfully, like lasts in wintertime. Okay, so I'm sorry for the false advertising today, but we just roll here. We're like tumbling dice, man. We just roll with whatever.
Wait, shit. It looks like Witsit was waiting the whole time, like
Was
muted
he?
down there,
That's
all the
not
way at the
Witsit.
bottom.
That's not Witsit.
Oh shit. Oh, that's not. Okay.
Yeah.
Someone should tell him that,
No, go on.
that we're doing the thing on
apologize.
Saturday. He might turn up on Saturday.
Yeah, hopefully. Not for him though. It's not going to turn out good for him. So
This is important here, Kerry.
I just
Before
want to
you,
say hi to
before you
everybody.
go on.
hold on a second. Somebody else was over talking you, Adam.
It was me. I was over talking you. I'm tired of sending
Okay,
super
Rob.
chat. How are you guys doing?
Good.
I just wanted to introduce myself.
Who are
Here I
you?
am.
Good to see you, Roger. Roger
Roger.
Ledwell.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
the
not
guy
in
sending
Discord.
Oh, dude.
Shut up. I'm not in Discord.
No,
I can't see.
I'm going to say hello.
I'm gonna
overtalk
friggin'
you
mute
and
you,
say hello.
dumbass.
Hello, Adam.
All right, Roger.
So I'm
Thank
not
you.
in Discord, so I can't see. I've heard Roger before, but only twice, so my ears aren't attuned to it. What's up, Roger? Go ahead.
Not much. I'm just saying hi to everybody. This first time I've been in the Discord chat here. So.
I
I'm a
thought
little
you.
emotional.
I thought you made a. I thought you commented. I thought you came in before and said hello.
Yeah, that when Nathan went when he was what was that guy's name? I can't remember.
Okay.
Ham-
Okay.
It's Nathan's show.
It was Nathan's show with Hammer. I actually summarized for him once. And that was
I
it.
got you.
At the
Yeah,
end
yeah,
of-
yeah. That's it. Yep. I knew I heard you before. Okay.
Yeah, nice to hear you. See,
Well, who wouldn't want
That
to
was-
hear me?
Good thing.
Oh,
I
bro.
know. Oh God, here comes the ego. I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's
Lassie.
not ego. That's just facts.
Oh my gosh. Where's Betty when I need her?
Ugh.
She's eating a tuna pizza right now.
Yeah, she might be. All right. Any other further comments? You're gonna have to make
Yes.
it quick. 'Cause-
Yes. Yes.
'cause
Yes. Me
'cause
first,
I have.
you got
or I'll mute the shit out of everybody.
about 5 minutes. Yeah, Adam said he'll mute the shit out of everybody.
Aunt
Power's
Marie.
gone. All I wanted to say is that power seems to be gone to Adam's head.
Yeah,
I've not
it has.
used it yet.
Yeah.
I've not used it yet. You just all such beaters that I can just flex. Anyway, what I wanted to make was, Roger, really, you know, sometimes you go through life, it's really nice to hear a man's voice and a pleasure. And as far as I know, out of everybody in the flat earth, full legal title, Roger Ledwell is the only person that Bugger's name can as actually I've heard him say. So you are a special title.
He's not the only one. Tony Whitcomb. He just said Jadu earlier. I mean, Booger's on it.
That's
He
not
knows how
legal.
to.
I
He knows how to
preface with
read.
legal name.
Oh.
John Doe. Imagine that on your birth certificate.
Yeah, right.
The point, mate. Mate, I'm sorry, Foxy, but really nice to meet you, mate. Thank you
Nice to
for
meet
all
you
your
too, Adam.
support.
Yeah, thank you for
Nice to meet you.
thank you for your
I
support.
mean, I've
Roger.
got back all out of it.
I'd be able.
Huey,
I
who's
might
had
be
his
able to
internet
thank you
paid
for your
for,
support if
all
it
sorts of
shut
shit.
up. You know, Roger, if it shut up, I could probably thank you. Thank you for your support, Roger. It's a long time coming. Now you can speak, Adam.
Because you cut my rant where I was claiming I've got nothing out of this. Just pleasure. Yeah, as I say, it's a pleasure to meet people sometimes and hear them.
Yep.
If that's all you do. So yeah, lovely. Roger, good evening. Or what should I say? Evening.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I put my money where I put my heart to. So.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. My
No
wife
problem.
appreciates it too. So listen, do you guys, a couple of you guys want to summarize this? If you do, you got 5 minutes and not a piece either. You got 5.
Ryan?
In my opinion, there isn't really anything to summarise. It's just John LeBon being dishonest. Never was attracted to the guy. I've never listened to him. The only time I ever spoke to him was one time he came on to Nathan's and had to correct him on several things. And Nathan was trying to get me to stop correcting him because Nathan was trying to protect him or something like that. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
That's he.
No, I think that we covered everything in excruciating
question.
detail.
Oh, don't interrupt or I'll mute you.
Sorry.
No, you're good. That's all. That was it.
Shit.
Where's the co-host of this show? Where is he at? He needs to start co-hosting it.
I was about to bring it to you. I was about to say, then because you are here, what are your thoughts on tonight, Roger?
Well, I didn't catch all the show. I was over on Flats's panel for most of the day, so I caught the tail end of some of it. And I like John. He's an opportunist. That's all I got to say about him personally. His show is really vague most of the time, and he's off on topics that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. That's my opinion about it. Anything he does, for the most part. What he covered in topic, I didn't catch all of it, so I'm not going to really comment on it.
Thank you, sir. I know I got accused of just derailing the show, which technically another premature judgment. I think
that wasn't a premature judgment, you friggin' weasel, you.
Yeah, I'm a shit house. Sorry.
That is a shit house move, right? You scouser.
Eli might describe it as passive aggressive.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah. But I thought it was useful because look at what's going off out there. People like JLB are bringing this up. So instead of, we've got many a night to go through the duplicitous nature of Whitsitt and his contradictory statements. Okay.
Yes.
But this just randomly popped up to the point that we were blessed, and I want to hand over to him. If he can just rinse his mouth, spit, goggle, and then come to us. But so that Nathan joined, because that's why he joined. Yeah. These are important people in the journey, and look at where they're siding, and look at the arguments they've got. It's brilliant, guys. We're winning. Yeah.
Oh, we've won.
I don't there, Nathan, but
we've won.
Yeah.
Won and winning.
Yes. Yeah, I am. What do you want me to do?
Take us home. Comment, then take us home.
I've got no comment. With that, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the public participants for joining today's QE Live. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you in the audience for liking, commenting, sharing, hitting the super chat and all that good stuff. A huge thank you to QE for hosting the show. I've been Nathan Oakley, and we'll see you all in the next QE Live.
We'll see you in the next BALLBUSTERS first. That's Saturday, folks. And I'll tell you what, I'm in the need for speed, baby. I'm all fibered up. So Saturday, 2 p.m. U.S. Central. See you there. QE out.
In the fragile realm where mysteries abide, there walks a man with knowledge as his guide. They call him QE, the quantum eraser. He moves through the world with purpose and grace, destroying beliefs at steadfast pace, asking what's science and what's math. His wisdom cuts through like tempered glass. They call him QE, the quantum eraser. A master archer with bow in hand, his aim is true across the land, not just in science, but in every heart. He hits his mark with a steady heart. They call him QE, the quantum eraser. It's all too easy for him when he takes the stage. With every word he states, they feel the rage. His presence alone rattles that cage. The crayon eating numpties are running out of time. They call him QE, the quantum eraser. With every swing of the cowbell, the illusion fades, and with each strike, the glow bursts, illusion degrades. QE's treatments, they cure them of their plight, guide them toward truth with all his might. They call him QE, quantum eraser. The hardest thing about being a Glober is telling your daddy you're gay, oh so gay. That's why they need QE's treatment. They call him QE, quantum eraser. They call him QE, the quantum eraser.